This is my house. This is my house. You don't get stuck here.
Live. Hey. We're live. What's going on?
Welcome everybody. Awesome Talk Season 3, Episode 11 on November 4th, 2011.
Yes.
2014. I'm gonna be Clinky, everybody.
We've been on the air for 3 years now, apparently.
Yeah.
So we have one awesome show for everybody tonight, don't we, Ryan?
I think so.
We have a kick-ass show tonight. For starters, before we get to who's at the bar tonight, because we got a packed house tonight.
Yes, we do.
And part of the reason we have a packed house tonight is because the next time you see Awesome Talk is going to be on stage at the Saint on November 15th in Asbury Park live.
Fucking live.
So you need to get a ticket for that. Awesome Talk shop.weebly.com for that, and those tickets are running out quick. So tonight, Skyping in later on, we have somebody by the name of Jason Lemieux, who is the host of a show on YouTube called Politically Exhausted. It's pretty awesome, man. He covers all kinds of crazy shit. The Eric Frayne shooting that happened in Pennsylvania he covered recently. He has a whole thing about, you know, what part of 9/11 people should be focusing on. He talks about the Ebola virus and the panic that the news created and stuff like that. Awesome shit. And live at the bar tonight, we have a full fucking house at the bar tonight.
Yes, we
So
do.
I'm gonna
we need to
introduce.
build another bar.
I know, right? I'm gonna introduce the two special guests that came, and then
We'll do
everything else that's going
And
on
then the
here.
not so special.
And then the not so special.
Oh, yeah.
Yes, yeah.
I better be the special, man.
Well,
No,
tonight.
no. You've been promoted to not special. Welcome to the club.
You're just guest.
Special because who's first.
Well, okay, yes.
And I
Tonight
don't think
is
we've ever
Woo's.
actually announced that.
Yeah.
This is Woo
Officially.
has officially part of the Awesome Talk family. I'd like to hear
Yes.
it for Woo.
He has officially.
Woo
Thank you to Woo.
is, Woo is
Woo is
taking
in the
over
house.
Stones' seat on Awesome Talk from here on out. And
You'll have to watch past episodes if you miss watching him creep and lurk in corners.
That's what I do best.
yes. No, not you.
Not you.
Stones creeps and lurks.
You got some creepy ass shoes to fill.
You're good at chilling.
You just
So,
kind of creep.
Let's have a big clink
Yeah.
for Woo's first official show. I look forward
Here's to
to
Woo.
ending this season and starting a new one with Woo as part of this group, man.
Alright.
It's going to be a
Yes,
good
sir.
time. Live at the bar tonight, we have a couple of guests. We have Dave, keyboardist for T.W.i.N.E, which is the band that me, Ryan, and Andrew are in that we talk about all the time. We're going to be closing the night on November 15th, so I want to hear it for Dave. Playing bass for T.W.i.N.E, I want to give it up for Scott Burton. For
Yes,
being
sir.
here tonight, man.
That's right. Applaud yourself, Scott.
And the last minute hop on.
But not just playing bass for T.W.i.N., also playing for Decrepit Youth and Moroccan Sheep Herders.
Absolutely.
three gigs at
Man,
once.
that's dude. I'm
dude.
having a hard time managing the
That's
one.
professional. That's professional.
And our hop on for tonight was Heavy Metal John, who called it the last minute. And he's like, "Yeah, I'm gonna come by the bar." And I was like, "Yeah, all right, come by the bar, man. Let's do this shit." So let's do it around the bar.
There we go.
All right.
Sounds like a plan.
I am Rick, the bartender.
I'm Dave.
Ryan, the brains.
I'm Andrew. John. Oh shit.
Oh,
Metal
He
John.
fucked up.
Oh, man.
Get
Fucked
right
up,
in here.
kid.
Go ahead. Jandrew.
Ange
That
Metal
is the
John.
best transvestite name I've heard in my life.
Now next.
I cut you off. You start.
Heavy Metal John.
I'm Andrew.
Scott. Bass. Woo. John Lackey.
Sarah.
Mr. Gigaton.
Mr. Gigaton.
Mr. Gigaton.
All right, so welcome to the bar, everybody.
Yes,
to the
welcome
bar.
us. Welcome us.
Yes. So, the first thing I want to throw out there today is I thought about something today,
That's bad.
and it pissed me off.
Well, that's
Okay, it was something that pissed me off a few months ago, and reliving it pissed me off. There's one thing that I just fucking hate, and I'm sure everybody here can relate to this. I hate looky-loos. I really fucking hate a looky-loo. I'll explain. I'll explain what a looky-loo is, okay? It's like an advanced version of a creeper, all right? So, you know how a creeper generally
You're
creeps
talking about a sort of person here.
Yeah, sort of person, okay?
All right.
So, I don't like people who have, like, you know, like an insignificant job and they stand there waiting for you to fuck up at their job so that they can tell you that you fucked up. I'll give you an example.
Okay.
A few months ago,
I understand what you're talking about.
a
I
few
still don't
months
get the
ago,
looky-loo
well,
part,
I'll
but-
give you my story and then you guys go ahead and reflect. We went to Washington, D.C. a few months ago, okay? And I'm driving her car, and it has the handicap plates on it, okay? And we enter the garage. Now, as I'm approaching the handicapped spot, the attendant who works there comes out of his little booth, and he stands there like this, looking at me. And as I'm slowly pulling into the spot, I'm looking out the window going, what the fuck are you looking at? So I pull in, I park, I open the door, I get out of the car, and the first thing the guy says to me, no, that's for handicapped people. And I went, this is a handicapped car, asshole. And he looked at the plates. He was looking for the thing hanging in the window, but he didn't think to look at the license plates to see that the handicapped thing. And he's just standing there, waiting for his fucking chance. Just to tell me, to use that authority that he never gets to use, to tell me to move my fucking car.
Instead of looking down at the license plate.
Instead of simply looking down at the license plate.
Respect my authority.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, it could also be just, you know, he made a mistake. But
I think at that point it's a safe assumption if he works in a parking garage, one of his normal nuisances are assholes parking in the handicap spots.
you know, so he has to
probably just
monitor.
out
It's
of
his
habit,
job
he
to
saw you
monitor
pull
that.
in,
You know,
he didn't see anything go on, and he's like, hey, and then you point out the license plate, and then he probably sulked his way back into his little booth.
I know, but as a guy who works in, you know, he's a professional, right?
In parking lots.
Yeah,
He's
he's
a
a
professional.
Hey, you know, whenever you got a
Right?
job, you know, it's a job.
You have to imagine
It's-
that
it
he
is a
thinks, okay, boom, check one. Is there a tag hanging in the window? Boom, check two. Check the plate. Do I see anything weird there? And then make your decision and,
Weird,
you know,
like what, a head?
yeah.
Like what would be weird?
Wait, what?
Well, they
See
probably
if
saw
there's
you
anything
drive
weird
in,
there.
pull into
Yeah.
the spot,
Saw you
and
get out of
you
the
get
car.
out of the car.
Yeah,
And was like,
able-bodied
hey,
and
yo,
not-
wait a minute, yeah.
But you mean to tell me that from a distance in a parking garage, he could tell that I was fine?
I don't know. I mean, I wouldn't.
Well, here's
I
the
wouldn't
deal.
be
If the
upset
car
about it
pulled
though.
in-
I would just be like, "Hey, look, I have the license plate. She's in. Oh, okay. I'm sorry."
If the car pulled
You know,
in
like, I don't-
and within a
you know,
matter of seconds,
mistakes
your
happen.
head popped up and then the door closed. At that point in time, I would probably be like, "Hey, dude, you're definitely not handicapped. You got out of that car very quickly."
That's what you
and
would say?
agilely. Exactly verbatim.
In a wheelchair when it pulled
Yeah.
in.
Yeah.
Your car
yeah,
wasn't.
right.
Yeah.
Your car wasn't missing a wheel.
He saw
Yeah.
a Toyota with a fully capable person getting out of the
I know.
driver's seat
He saw a
and just
guy
walking around.
sitting in the driver's seat, and he was like, "Oh, there's nothing wrong with this guy."
Oh yeah, because you were sitting there driving in the driver's seat. You don't look handicapped, and then you pull into a handicap spot. Yes.
If you're driving like this, there might be questions.
Oh,
Exactly.
right. Good. Good.
And you
I
made a
drove like
mistake.
this,
You
I
didn't
was-
look
You're
at. You
driving
didn't
your
look at the
buggy.
license plate.
Yeah, I'm driving a buggy.
If I saw someone driving like this, I would automatically assume they were
Yeah.
handicapped and they'd get a free pass.
I Tokyo drift around the
Yep.
corner in a dune buggy.
Bucky
Buggy.
in a dune bucky.
Dude, I've done a bunch of fucking jobs that are meaningless and kind of stupid, you
Yeah.
know? But, dude, there are ways to fuck all of them up, you
Oh,
know?
yeah.
Yeah, sure.
I mean, like, there are people who are just trying to be on their game, you know what I mean? Like, I can't let something, you know, like, I can't, like, what if a handicapped person comes in
Yeah.
and this fucking car's, you know, I have to be on top of this because we have to keep all these cars in certain parking spaces and we have to keep record of all
Yeah.
that and hang the keys in the right place and, you know,
I mean,
he's
what
not
if-
just sitting there looking at you.
Here's a
Well,
hypothetical.
he
Yeah,
was
I mean,
standing
Here's a
there looking at me.
hypothetical though.
Yeah.
What if this dude was like on final
He's
written
making
warning
fucking-
for
you know, he's
handicapped
making
people
12
parking?
bucks an
Maybe
hour.
he's on high alert because if he fucks up
Maybe.
again, he gets
Yeah.
kicked to the curb.
Yeah,
And
you
he
know?
gets one more disabled person screaming at the boss about this.
He's gonna get shit canned.
He's shit out of the
Yeah.
job. He's shit
So
out
he's
of
just
luck.
gonna yell at anybody that parks in a handicap
He
spot.
just guards a handicap spot. Like,
Matter
he's
how
like,
handicapped
No, he's
you
just
are.
guarding the handicap
Yeah.
spot. You didn't look handicapped.
In life.
And he was right.
Yep.
Well,
You're not.
I get out of the car and he's like, all right, now prove it. Prove it. Limp, fall down, fuck something up, whatever, but prove it.
Take off one of your legs. Come on.
Yeah.
Show me some proof
Yeah.
here.
Who's handicapped?
What a
Stroke
dickhead.
out. Do something.
Stroke out.
He was defending the handicap spot. What if he did the same thing to somebody who wasn't handicapped and parked in that spot while you guys were blocked waiting for it?
Yeah.
You'd be
yeah.
fucking singing his praises. Like,
like,
yeah,
that
get
was
that
legit.
fucking asshole out of my fucking spot. Like, yeah, oh, then all of a sudden he's noble.
But you understand the type of person I mean, though. The type of person who, like, sits perched like a gargoyle waiting
Well, I
for
do
that
know that
moment
type of
that they
person,
get
yes.
that they get to just pounce on you like I'm gonna let him fuck up just a little so that I get to exert my authority.
See, now, when you said looky loo, the first thing that pops in my head is something more along the lines of like rubberneckers on the parkway where there's like an accident or just someone
Oh,
pulled
that's a
over on the
looky-loo.
other side of the
Sure.
road. That's
Yeah.
a looky loo. Someone like that is just someone that thinks they have a high horse when in
yeah.
actuality they have
Well,
a
if it's not a
retarded
looky
car.
loo, who is he?
Creepy Charlie.
Is it Creepy Charlie?
Well, what about just like, you know, yeah, well, I mean, even to go farther on what you said, like, what about somebody who just looks in general? Like, if you see somebody get hurt and you don't go over and help them, you watch while
Just
they're
kinda
doing
sit
it.
there, your arms
Just
crossed,
sit,
like,
you know what I mean? Like,
Someone else will
oh.
take care of
You
this.
know what I mean? Like, you see somebody fall and you don't go and help them up,
that-
and
that
they're like,
limb's
dude, are you
definitely
okay?
severed.
Yeah.
Like, holy shit, you know? I'll call 911. What, you know, like, there are people who just stand there like, huh?
He's definitely in need of a hospital.
Yeah,
Someone
that-
should call
That
Like it's
911.
like a
cargo plane
TV
that
show,
absolutely
yeah.
took your entire arm off at the shoulder.
Captain
That looks like
Hindsight.
it sucks.
Captain Hindsight, yeah.
Captain Hindsight.
Well, what you should have done is not falling down right there, dick brain.
You really shouldn't have
Right.
put your arm out in traffic. I mean, that's just common knowledge.
Yeah.
All right, so you guys want a topic to fuck with?
Sure.
Okay.
There's a lot of dumb shit in the news to fuck with,
Oh,
and
sure.
I really can't wait for you guys to rip a few of these apart. Now, I'm going to tell these stories slow, so you feel free to start slicing them to pieces as they come at you.
Oh, no,
All right.
Don't we always?
Scott, you can push her right on the floor. She's
Yeah,
or
oh,
Andrew,
yeah.
help out. You know what to do.
Yeah. She
There we
needs
go.
to work out.
Okay. New London, Wisconsin.
Ooh, as opposed to old London.
Karen Marks found her missing husband after 9 years. He was gone. She found him on Facebook, married to another woman.
Well, that's the end of that one. Mystery solved.
Yeah. Well, when she met him, when the first time she ever met him, he was a carny working in festivals.
Nice.
And-
Promising future.
I love
Promising
it.
future.
He was a bit of a looky-loo, maybe. You know. He was a carnival.
A looky look.
A wanderer.
He was a carnival Carl.
Yeah,
Well, now what type of carny was he? I mean, did he have like claw hands or did he?
I
have
don't know. He's
business
probably,
eyes?
you know, running
Did
the
he
tilt the
glass?
world.
No, he was the guy who's sitting
Was he-
there
was he a-
smoking cigarettes, selling meth to kids while
Yeah.
running the fucking
That's
tilt
Oh, so
the
it was
world.
just a normal guy.
Well,
running a
look,
carnival.
he's out of town the next morning.
He don't give a shit.
So if
Yeah.
you're gonna sell meth to kids, that's the night
That's
you
the place
do
to
it.
do
That's how
it.
you do
Yeah.
that.
Here,
Yeah.
take this, get on the Gravitron, and then fuck off. You know,
That's what you do when you're
Well,
on meth,
like,
is
you know,
ride the Gravitron
teenagers.
and you
Like,
try to
Yeah.
you know, not kids.
not little
seriously.
kids. You know, I mean,
Teenagers are old
teenagers.
enough to be stupid.
anything under than 10, that should be illegal.
Yeah, they should be like you. You
Yes.
should be this tall to do meth.
Yeah. Hold on a
Those
second.
signs.
I'm gonna say hi to the chat because I know people are out there, but no one's saying anything.
Hey, chat!
Hey, what's
Speak
up,
up,
chat?
chatters. Chat away,
Hey,
fuck
Scott,
nuts.
Aaron says hi.
I am. Hey,
So-
hey, Scott.
Hold on. Here we go.
All right.
So, when she met him, he was a carny, and he was already married then too. So this guy's
Nice.
chronically married.
Pimping it up.
That sounds like the
Yeah, right? That's called building a stable.
He just really likes weddings.
Yeah, he's all about it.
Yeah, he's just a hopeless romantic.
Yeah,
He has like 1,000 toasters.
Yeah,
He's got a collection of those cake toppers in some sort of random chronological order.
yeah. They're by date.
Yeah,
Is he
yeah,
Mormon?
probably.
So, once he met Miss Karen Marks, he got divorced and married Karen. Now this is where it starts to get a little hairy.
Oh, wait.
Like bearded lady.
What?
He kept repeatedly cheating on her while they were married and actually disappeared from her once already for months. She continuously decided to keep taking him back, and she told him the last time that he better shape up because she's not taking it anymore. At which point,
He married his sister.
Whatever. I don't know who he married, but whatever.
Why
he
are
did,
we
he left.
talking about this?
Wait, the story
he
gets...
left.
Yeah, come
Where
on.
is this going?
Spicier, come on.
So she told him he better shape up, and so what he did was left in the middle of the night and left a note and disappeared and
That's a
married
shape.
somebody else. And then she found him on Facebook, and that was it.
Oh,
Yeah.
all right.
What a dick.
So where did that happen?
Yeah.
This was Wisconsin.
I mean,
Wisconsin?
Yeah, it doesn't seem like there's anything else really exciting going on in Wisconsin, so it's probably
So,
all they really
that's
got
norm.
is... I'm
That's
fairly...
norm over there.
He
Yeah.
left her a bunch of like keep these coupons, like those like the things.
Oh yeah, like the
tickets.
value packs.
Yeah.
He hooked her up with a value pack. That's a pretty sweet severance package, yeah.
Husband vouchers.
Do you have kids with the women?
I don't know if he had kids. It didn't say.
Probably.
But this guy just seems to be chronically married and running at all times.
he would
man.
not be the first one.
Yeah.
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 Not by a long
The
shot.
only difference between this guy and many others is there's probably more cheddar cheese out there. It's the only thing I can think of.
And he can run the tilt-a-whirl.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
And he
I
can
think,
sell himself some mean meth.
I think
I
he's
know.
running the tilt-a-whirl a little too often. That's what I think is going on.
Dude, well, the most important thing is he'll let you get high and go on all the rides for free.
Dude, that's half the fucking fun of it. I mean, if you're
to ride
yes! If you're dropping $80 on a rock of meth, you better get a free
No
ride or two.
problem.
out of it.
Yeah, exactly. You buy a rock, you get a ride.
Yeah, sounds right.
A rock or ride.
That's a good slogan right there.
A
Yeah.
ride, a
Ride
ride.
a rock.
Get a
Ride a
ride.
rock.
Ride a rock. It's tricky to rock the ride.
It is tricky to rock the ride when you're riding the rock.
I hate that fucking Gravitron thing though. Have you ever been in that?
Gravitron.
I love the fucking
God.
Gravitron.
No.
Fuck
Like-
you, that's the best.
like
one.
I did
and the
the thing-
swings. I'm sorry.
I love
I'll
the
never be
swings.
too old for the fucking
The
swings.
coolest thing to
dude.
do is get fucked up, get on the Gravitron, and then try to stand up.
Yeah, that is.
Yeah.
Oh,
Fucking
yeah.
blast and a half, because you feel all the
You know,
blood
dude,
rush
but I
out of your
feel like-
head, and it feels like it's gonna rush out of your
From like
colon.
feels like you're being born.
1935.
Hey, Emily's in the chat room. Hi,
Hey, what's up, Em?
Hey, fucking
But you know what it
Emily.
is I get on the Gravitron and I immediately feel like all my porks on a stick are now gonna come up. The fucking
Well, why don't
what's
you
the
eat your
cake?
porks on a
gotta
stick
prepare
after you
them.
go on the
Yeah.
ride?
Yeah.
Because then I feel sick and I don't want to
You
eat.
go to the Gravitron first on an empty stomach, or full of beer and mat,
And do your thing.
light
Yeah.
meal, light
And
A
meal.
then
light meal,
eat.
a beer and meth.
Eat when it's over.
Yeah.
And then you keep it down.
An aperitif.
I feel like I gotta come back the next day, though. Like that spinning
You're
never
just
stops.
doing it wrong, then. Were you
No,
doing,
you're
were you
doing
trying
it
to
wrong.
stand right
What do you mean
side
I'm
up?
doing it wrong?
You gotta
I don't know,
try
you're
to
doing it
stand
wrong.
up, or you have to be upside down when it starts. Some crazy shit like that.
They're talking shit about one of the greatest rides ever.
Yeah.
It's delightful,
I don't
and
know,
everybody
man.
likes it.
Yeah,
I like
Shut
the-
up.
I like
I'm not gonna sit here
I like the rock
The
and roll.
Gravitron made me the man I
and
am
listen
today.
to this slander.
I like the rock and roll sleds. What are they called? The rocket.
Himalayas.
Yeah, the Himalayas.
Yeah,
Fucking
those are good.
Himalayas are the shit.
You know, you
it's
get
like
the
a
lip-
roller coaster that's stationary.
I remember
Yeah,
when
it
we were
plays
kids,
like Van
though,
Halen
we
and
were younger.
Limp
it was-
Bizkit.
I remember when we were younger, and before it was a Himalaya, it was Sinbad's Cruise.
Yes.
Yes.
Sinbad's Cruise.
Clinky to Sinbad's Cruise.
I remember that was like when I
Yes.
was really fucking
I'm
little.
into
It
that.
was Sinbad's Cruise, and I was scared
Yeah.
shitless of it.
Well,
Just like, damn.
With the Himalaya though, you can't have a fat person on the inside or you get squashed.
Yeah, no, you get fucked
Yeah,
up.
you're done.
You get
You're
fucked
done.
up.
You're done. You're done. You get mushed.
Yeah.
Keep your hands and feet in the ride.
The best
All right,
part about
John.
that was like they get you halfway through and you're at the point where you're like, all right, the rocking around's starting to get obnoxious. Like not nauseous, it just hurts because there's no cushioning in that seat. It's just
Yeah,
getting fucking.
How lucky do you feel when you get the front seat?
Oh, it's the best.
Oh, well, me and
And
Gage. Oh, I'm sorry. Go
No,
ahead,
I'm
Gage.
sorry. And then they fucking put it into reverse for no reason, and you're just
Yeah.
kind of sitting there like, the shit.
Yeah.
I can't see where I'm going now. This is boring.
I'm going back.
This is the
I'm
route
going
we
back
just
to the
came.
beginning. I'm starting over.
Dude, me and Gage went to Texas, and we went to the Texas State Fair while we were there. And it was like crowded, but it's so massive. It's so
Like spread out.
amazingly massive. It's like, you know, like each section, like there's a section of rides, there's a section of attractions and shops and shit like that. And they're all each the size of like 18 of our carnivals. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like you need a map, you have to like wander around this huge, like, so like you go to the rides. And for the most part, on a bunch of them, you're the only people on it. And me and Gage were on one of those Himalaya things. And he was like, Dad, you gotta come with me.
It's all held together with
I'm like,
duct
dude,
tape."
I'm kind of big, man. And he's just like, no, you gotta come with me, Dad. And so I'm like, shitting you not. Like, my knees are like up, like right here. and I got like the bar right here,
fucking
and we're
shoe
sitting in
in.
this like little sled thing together.
And you're like
this
that in a
fucking
regular car.
We were the only ones on it. We were the only ones on it, so we were just
why
the
didn't you
one,
get in the seat
the one
behind him?
point of weight attached to the wheel, and this dude just cranked it, and me and Gage were just like, just sideways the whole way, like, and we were the only, like, so Jillian and my wife are standing there on the outside. He's just like, whoop, 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 yeah, like it was just, oh my god, it was hilarious, dude. It was so funny.
Let's see. Flying Piranha, welcome to the chat. Sorry, my vision is really, really bad.
Gravitron, best ride all year.
Yes, sir.
Fuck yes.
Yes, sir.
You know-
Thank you, sir.
People are half in or half out with the Gravitron. Like, you never...
No, they're not half in. They're all in.
Or all in or all out.
100%.
Like,
They're all
you know
in.
what I'm saying? I don't like being dizzy.
What about Nitro?
Oh, I love Nitro.
Love Nitro.
I love
Who
Nitro.
here remembers
Nitro.
the zipper?
You know
Oh,
what it is?
yeah,
I think
the zipper,
Nitro...
yeah.
That's like a
players in
giant
the
man's
zipper.
filled chainsaw.
And it's just a cage.
No,
Yeah, it's
it's
just a
just
metal
sorry,
fucking
fuck.
cage.
Best
yeah,
ride
dude.
ever was the Spider. Where the arms
Yeah,
that come
yeah,
up
with
and
the
it
little
spins
black
around
arms.
on the
yeah,
outside.
Yeah, that was a good one. That was fun.
That's the fucking best one, man.
What was there was one, there was the Gravitron, and then there was another one where it's like you kind of just had a cage.
Oh,
and then it
the
spun
whirl,
like a
yeah.
motherfucker.
Yeah, and you just stuck to the wall, and it
Was
could
that
go
the
up and
tilt-a-whirl?
sideways.
Is that
Dude,
the tilt-a-whirl?
Your fucking
No,
funnel
the
cake is
tilt-a-whirl
everywhere
is the
on
one
Yeah,
that.
that was a
where you
little
sit in
spinny
the
cupcake.
cage.
Is it-
The one where you're in a cylinder,
There's like
and
a
there's
whirly
pads
bird or
on the
some
wall,
shit.
and it just starts spinning.
Yeah,
there's like
and
plastered-
centrifugal force applies,
there's
and
like
then they
a-
lift it up.
Yeah,
And they
unlike,
spin it.
Oh,
Yeah.
unlike the
What was that
Gravitron where there was no straps or safety implements, they just had a padded room and then they spun it at Mach 10.
And there's just like splatters of like fried Oreo vomit all
Yeah.
over the sides.
Yeah, but it's all at the top at the time, so it doesn't really matter. By the time it slows down and starts sliding towards you, you can kind of lean out of the way because it's not building on you too much.
It's part of its charm.
That is.
Yeah, exactly.
It's horrifying, disgust-filled charm.
Fried Oreo vomit charm.
What was that? So remember that scene from that? What was that? Oh,
Sounds
fuck.
tasty.
Problem
Oreo
Child
charm.
2.
Punk band.
Remember Problem Child
I
2?
did not see Problem Child.
There's a
Oh,
scene
yeah,
where
with
they
the
were on a
chick.
ride and
Yes.
he made them all fucking throw up, and it was
Yeah.
just like the most horrific vomit scene like you ever
No,
saw.
it was
It was
not-
like you saw vomit flying
the
out all the
opposite
kids
side.
out.
No, it
Movie
was
The
the...
Sandlot. You remember the movie The
Oh,
Sandlot?
that was a good one too.
That's fine.
That was a
Yes,
good one
yes.
too.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, the Sandlot was a good one too.
Dude, you're killing me, Smalls.
Killing Smalls.
Was it the chewing tobacco?
And
Yeah,
there
Big
was
Chief.
tobacco, yeah.
There was
Big
that-
Chief.
And then they Stand By Me with the pie eating contest.
Oh yeah, that
Nice.
shit was
Yes.
fucked up.
Classic. Classic.
That was funny.
Oh man, Will Wheaton was a small child.
Yes, he was.
Yes,
man.
he was.
Too young, bro.
You want something new? This is a good one.
Yeah, I think we've
I
covered.
think you guys will really like
I'm
this.
starting to borderline.
I think
pedophile
we
jokes.
covered
I'm not
every
comfortable with
aspect
that,
of
so-
rednecks and
Yeah, let's move it along.
Don't
carnivals.
pussy out, Andrew.
No, I
don't
don't want to
pussy
make
out.
pedophile jokes about Will Wheaton. We'll just move right along. Thank you. He still has boyish charms at the age of 45. That's all I'm gonna say.
Boyish charms.
What?
He looks like a man child. That's what I'm getting at.
Oh, all right. I thought you were getting whisked away to your,
definitely
your
is.
schoolboy.
Well,
days.
kind of in a pedo way, but yeah, moving along.
Well, New York,
That's the proper reaction. Right?
That's
We go.
rough.
Catherine
Just
Butler.
Catherine?
Just
Catherine.
Catherine.
Oh, Catherine.
Mother.
I thought there was an L in the middle of that. Catherine.
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 Catherine Butler arrested for DWI twice in 3 hours.
Ooh.
Wow, wow.
Wait a minute, no, wait, no, hold
Well,
on. You
Dave-
can't be arrested.
Dave,
Twice.
to be fair, she was white.
Oh, all right then.
Okay.
Oh,
That's
well.
okay.
But I kind of take the
All right,
away.
it's
That's
possible.
Suddenly it becomes possible.
I still
makes
don't
sense.
think that's accurate.
That's
but
not
it's
possible. That's expected.
Yeah.
So
The second time, but the third time, we're really gonna crack down.
we're really gonna get
Slap the
screwed.
shit out of
You're
your
really
wrist.
making me upset now.
You young lady, you. She was arrested the first time. She was dressed as a zombie. In total,
Okay.
she's had 4 DWIs, and when she got pulled over the second time, her blood alcohol content was 0.11.
Oh, solid.
That means she was drinking like a
She was
boss.
fucking
Like,
with, she was fucking with Jack, yeah.
yeah, dude.
She
That
wasn't
wasn't.
fucking around.
She wasn't just drinking beers.
No,
like,
man.
Oh, look, if she's got enough money to throw around, well, she probably, I don't know if she was just getting fed booze or if she was actually paying for it.
Yeah,
If she
maybe,
was actually,
maybe. maybe some cop let her go, and then another one picked her up again.
Yeah.
So you go straight home.
Yeah.
I mean, she couldn't possibly. She couldn't. Yeah. Well, no. Yeah. You know, maybe she was in like her neighborhood, and the police officer said go straight home, and she went to another town and got arrested.
Okay.
It's
Okay, so that's where all the
obviously-
booze is.
It's obvious you're a privileged white female. You can afford a taxi cab.
Oh yeah, officer, I'll do that definitely. As soon as I go to this other bar.
I don't
Not
know what
Boston.
accent that was.
I don't know either. That was terrible.
That's a gas to another
Oh my
bar.
God.
I was just thinking extremely.
What's
white
funny is that they
immediately.
posted both her mugshots. In the first one, she's dressed as a zombie, like a sad zombie. Like her, you know.
with bits of hanging.
Yeah, she's shit's all hanging
jeez.
off, you know, and she's drunk as shit. But what's funny is now they took a mugshot both times, which means they
had to-
arrested her.
Yeah,
like,
they took her in.
yeah, and then she got
Really?
yeah, and then she went home.
Wow, that's
and
a
got
good
into
process.
another car.
They had to have known.
Dude, how?
That when
Dude,
someone pick her
you
up,
don't
said,
normally.
I don't know.
Put her back
No,
in
you
the
do
car.
not normally get arrested for DUI, and then it's just like, all right, well, you're drunk. Shame on you. Leave.
Back in the car.
But they don't do that, man. Like,
there's
they don't arrest you and process you and let you out an hour later. That does not happen.
There are very important
Like-
details that are obviously missing from this story.
Well,
Yeah.
well, I have a feeling those details are crooked as shit because there's for some
Yeah.
reason she's got two mugshots with the same date.
Well, you're a zombie. We can't keep zombies. So
Yeah.
you gotta go.
We don't want you
Photoshop.
infecting-
We don't want you to
jail.
eat any of the other inmates' brains, so we'll just put you back out on the street where you belong.
There's some like old dude with a jug with 3 X's on it in the cell. Like, you keep her away from me. Keep her away.
I just want to play in my jug band.
Yeah.
Next.
Who wants to go to Holland?
Yeah.
I do.
They have
Why
chocolate and
I'll
butter
take a
and
Holland.
Holland, right? Where they got
got
chocolate.
hollandaise out
It's
there.
someplace
they got cheese
else.
sauce.
Depends what's next.
I like cheese sauce.
Yeah, hollandaise is the shit. It's like mayo from Holland, I'm assuming. I don't
sure
really know.
it's
I don't, I'm not sure what the
Are
ingredients
you
are.
sure it's mayo?
It ends in A's, and I know mayo
Means
also
mayo
has
like.
A's.
It's like Musmayo Western mayonnaise.
Yeah, there we go. Those words make sense together.
Bestiality charges were dropped.
Oh, I
see?
was wondering when
You
it was
see?
gonna
They
come
were
up.
Goddamn
too
He was
soon.
like, you see? He was like, he was like, Holland, it depends on what's next. Bestiality charges. First off, can I just address something before I continue here?
Absolutely.
What is
Must
with
do.
all the bestiality going on? Every time I look in the news lately, somebody is fucking a dog. This isn't the only bestiality story I have.
I don't
This
see
is
any
rampant.
bestialities
I have,
on
another, I have
news.
another issue with that. Not only does it seem like
Not only.
that's the
Everybody is not fucking their dogs.
I'm just saying that's
You live in
what
it.
the media seems to be
Many
portraying.
people.
Okay.
The media is not portraying that either.
What news network are you
This is all
watching?
slam.
What news network are you? You're with the dog,
Bestiality
dog
TV?
fuckers network.
Well, but
Stop
that's
watching
the
that.
issue. Is all the
Fuck Fido.
bestiality cases happen to
biased.
apparently just be dog molestation? Is there other animals that people are fucking?
Well, I'll tell you.
Rabbits.
I'll
I
tell
want
you.
my spot
Let me
TV.
tell you.
I'll tell you. Recently on Ice in the Face, we brought up a story where there was a guy. He was head of a church, which I didn't know what that meant, and it turns out he was the CEO of the church.
Well, yeah, they have
And
that.
he created a listing on Craigslist that said, it was like man interested in sex with 2 types of animals. And the news said that the one was definitely a dog because the FBI or somebody heard about it and they posed as somebody who's, got a, sexy dog. And
Wait.
then the news said,
Wait.
sexy enough for this guy. I mean, hey, he's the CEO of a church. He's got money coming out of his ass.
I know. He probably just put the dog in a thong and was like, "There you go."
There you go.
Boom.
Boom.
Facebook.
Give it Brazilian.
If you shave the Chihuahua's bottom,
Oh.
your dick looks way bigger. But the news did
Bigger
say
and sadder.
they didn't know what the second type of animal was.
I'm going to assume.
I'm fucking depressed now.
I'm going out on a limb. And I'm going to say.
That's your country, Ryan,
No, it's
I'm gonna
not.
say chip.
and your countrymen.
No,
Go ahead,
that's
let's
one
fuck
house. That's
No,
one
I'm
house
just- I'm
in a
just-
neighborhood.
I'm just gonna kind of spitball what I think the
You go
second
ahead,
animal
throw
is.
it out
I'm
there.
gonna assume it was a chimp.
Hermit crabs.
Just cause
Why?
it was the first animal
Are
that
there
popped in
chimps
my
hanging
head.
Okay, hold on. We got to vote for chimps. We got to vote for hermit
A
crabs.
bunch of hermit crabs formed into a human shape, though.
Oh, like a Voltron.
I can
There you
back
go.
that up.
There's behind the human
We'll call it a
crab.
Humultron.
The human crab.
The human crab.
The Humultron.
Thank you.
That sounds equally awful and intriguing.
I just always assume it's a horse.
Oh, well.
Sheep.
Sheep? Oh, well,
sheep,
sheep
yeah.
is another big one.
Goats, man.
Damn.
Goats.
Sheep are like goats, but with really weird eye, like their pupils are rectangles.
Well, they both
Yeah.
have
You've
weird
been
eyes,
staring
don't
at
they?
sheep lately?
Yeah. Oh.
Lately. Regularly.
It's like
come on
sheep
now.
are old hat.
Excuse me.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Sheep are boring. I moved on to goats because they
Don't
sound
you
more
think he's
high pitched
fucking
when you
animals?
impale
Yeah,
them.
wait, say it again.
I say he lives in a log cabin. Don't you think he's fucking animals?
I can't not.
He's like, yeah, I keep the sheep
Does
in
he
the
live
back
alone
for
in
tax
a log
purposes.
cabin?
Strategic sheep
Don't mind the
purposes.
sheep. Mind your own business.
Yeah. Some looky-loo
Don't tell
neighbor.
me how to raise my
I
sheep.
know, right?
Looky-loo neighbor.
My
Hey,
sheep, my
hey,
property.
You're not supposed to fuck that sheep. Mind your own business.
Shut up, bitch!
Not after 5 o'clock.
Right, you
What's up?
looky-loo.
What's up? What's going on?
Rival.
Angel.
Angel,
What
what's
is
up?
up?
How you doing?
What up, bro?
Well, stream. Sarah, can you read that, please? I can't read
Wow,
that.
a streaming
Thank you,
hangout
Ryan.
talk show with a bunch of foul-mouthed beer-drinking dudes and a cute lass. I may just have
Aw.
found my new addiction.
Well, thank
Yeah.
you. Angel.
Thank you.
Can I just
You
say
don't have
something?
to call me cute,
Can I just say
Angel.
something?
I'm the
Talking
cute
about
one.
woo.
I want to have Angel. Well, Woo is insatiable.
Adorable.
Look at that. That's why we named him Woo. That's what he does to the
Because
ladies.
he woos.
I roosed them.
I want to. I've been thinking about getting Angel
You
on
the
next
fuck
season.
out of
Angel just put out a short film that he produced called Laundromat that I watched on
Oh,
Vimeo.
excellent.
Oh, yeah?
Now I don't know. He said that link was going dead, so I don't know where the fuck it went. But it was awesome, and they did it on a budget of almost zero. And when
Nice.
you see something done well on a budget of zero, I'm immediately drawn to it like a fucking magnet. I'm like, this is a work of passion right here. And it was fucking well done, man. So welcome, Angel.
Yes.
Good to see you, man.
Cheers.
Joe.
Yeah, Clinkies to Angel.
Yeah,
Unhill.
Angel.
Angel.
Oh,
Oh, Lord, she blows.
God, son of a fuck, bitch.
you
Damn
sons
it.
of bitches. With your violent clinks.
18-year-old girl.
And dog.
No dogs.
No
this
dogs?
time. No dogs. No dogs.
Giraffes.
Parakeet.
If you could fuck a parakeet,
Alright, some bitch fucked a deer tongue, dude. Do you really think someone could have fucked a parakeet?
not only did she fuck a deer tongue, but she lost it up in her vagina and forgot it was there.
Started to decompose.
It started to decompose,
She
right?
forgot
And then
about
she had to.
Deer
She had to admit in front of her husband.
That there was a deer tongue in her pussy.
Well, what happened was
He
her husband.
shot the deer.
He shot the deer and gutted it in the garage. She
And
went
then
out
she
to see the
stole the-
progress, I guess.
And stole the tongue?
Yeah, she
So
said,
she
she
just
said
thought,
she
wow,
admired.
Lying there dead with his tongue hanging out. She said, "Wow,
That's pretty
That's
impressive.
almost
Yeah, she
precisely
was
what happened.
impressed.
That's
She was
almost exactly what
impressed.
happened. She was impressed. So she went inside to pleasure herself while he gutted the deer, which is like, dudes.
Jesus.
Yeah, that's a sign of a
What?
serial
Did this
killer.
happen in Montana?
Wait,
What-
which
what-
part is the sign of a serial killer? The guy who slaughters the deer in his garage while his wife fucks the tongue, or the tongue fucking wife?
I don't think
The tongue fucking wife.
Do you have
Now-
to choose?
Do you have to choose? I don't know.
Rick, where did this story come out of? I'm guessing Montana.
Yeah, no, I don't think you should have to
You
choose.
shouldn't have to
The
It's
choose.
all
tongue-
pretty
the tongue one?
screwed.
The tongue one I think was Colorado.
That sounds Midwest. I would have thought further north, but
I
you know.
think
yeah.
you see the problem is if you separated the two, like if it was a chick who went to a grocery store and bought a calf tongue or something and went home and orally
vaginally.
vaginally violated herself
Yeah.
with it, and like maybe she filmed it, maybe for some fucking fetish thing or some shit, would you be mad about it? Then a guy goes hunting, brings his kill home and skins it, would you be mad about it? But when you combine the two, you know,
It gets-
when the
And
wife
you know
gets
that
the
the-
tongue
and you
from
know
her
that the tongue
husband
is
and
still
he's
warm.
downstairs skinning and gutting an animal and
tell you
she
something.
comes down to steal the tongue
Yeah.
to go
I'll tell you
get
something.
herself a, like that paints a Rockwell-like picture for me, you know what I'm saying? Like, you know what I mean? Just like that's American, you know, like American Sunday
Hold on,
afternoon.
bump
you
in,
know?
bump in.
I said the tongue was still warm.
See,
Everybody got sad. Like,
I'm not sad.
all I have to say is those two
Creeped out.
stories separately are
Gross.
disturbing, but together it sounds like, you know, there's at least one couple out there that did it right. Like that's true chemistry right
was
there. They were
destiny.
meant for each other.
It was destiny for that.
They were meant for each other.
Yeah, I guess what Andrew's trying to say is, did they get into a fight about it?
All the what?
What did the guy do wrong? All he did was go hunting.
Yeah, he went
Yeah.
hunting and he
That's what he did, yeah.
skinned a deer in
That's
the
what I'm
garage
saying.
like any normal man would do.
That's what I'm
I
saying.
know people that
Sure,
are
I know
like that,
hunters.
not like-
Sure, I got no
I
hate.
don't know if it means they deserve to have
But,
their wife
again, it-
fucking
But what was
It
really
brings up- it
fucked
brings
up,
up questions
what was
about
really fucked
how-
up was that the wife had to admit in front of the husband that, oh, I masturbated with this thing, then fell asleep, then woke up, then forgot completely that this happened until we were here at the hospital.
What was the husband's
And the
reaction?
tongue is like this, so it's like,
what was the
how-
husband's reaction?
Where the fuck is that
another-
tongue?
Yeah.
There's an important question there. Like,
like,
he's in the middle of
dude,
skinning a
yeah.
deer.
I was gonna make a soup with that tongue.
Well, no,
That's
the
where it wins. That's
That's
what
just
he
I
said.
like the deer, I like
Looking
the
for an
tongue.
idiot.
Why didn't the husband put two and two together? It's like, we're in the
all
hospital
you know-
because she's got groin pains and my deer tongue's missing.
For all you know, he threw out the rest of the deer because he's like, this deer doesn't have a tongue. What a waste of my time.
What a shitty deer!
That's what I hunt deer
A
for. Is the
stupid
tongue.
tongueless
tongue.
deer.
God damn it.
I
Or
throw
maybe-
the rest
maybe-
out.
Maybe he killed
He says
it.
he has a
I
bunch
put
of
it in the
tongues
garbage
on
Maybe
can.
he
plaques.
killed the
What's that, what?
He said he has a bunch of tongues on plaques. on the wall. Different animal tongues.
People walk in
And
like,
he's got
what
one of
the
those
fuck?
big green recycling pickup garbage cans with deer legs sticking out of it. All right.
Yeah.
Where's our sponsor?
What?
Speaking of animal
Out
tongues,
here
where's our
now.
sponsor?
Oh, our sponsor.
Animal
Where is
tongues.
the Auto Blow 2? Where did it go?
No, do you hear a motor?
Oh, everybody knows about it. Everybody knows about it.
I don't know where
You
it
found
is.
it?
We don't need to have it in the middle of the table.
You know what? I'm gonna pull it
I
out.
don't know what happened to it.
We'll find it.
We'll find it. Don't
Yeah,
worry.
we'll find it later.
But I would like to give a shout out to our other sponsor.
Yes, Nevermore Designs.
Nevermoredesigns.com, who makes these mugs.
Who
Now,
makes
when you
these
come
mugs.
to the
Thank you
live show at
very
the
much.
Saint, Nevermore Designs is going to be there selling these
Yes.
bad boys. So please, please.
And if you want one customized to make for your own, you can put an order in at their website.
At nevermore-designs.com. So,
It's up there.
let me get to the end of this girl. So she was arrested for shoplifting. She was caught stealing rock hard erection cream, handcuffs, deep throat desensitizing spray. And they say she could face a $5,000 fine and up to 3 years in prison. Do you think?
Wait a minute. Whoa.
Oh, being kinky?
Don't you feel like that
I mean-
punishment doesn't fit the crime? Like, first off, if you're stealing
She shoplifted a bunch of fucking sex shit.
Yeah.
because your
From-
dude can't, you know.
Presumably.
So here's the question.
Yeah.
Was the fine that big because she stole or because she stole that stuff?
Because she's, I guess because she stole, but I don't feel like this should apply to everybody. Like, clearly this is an 18-year-old girl who's a little freaky and is embarrassed by it and just wanted to get the fuck out of there.
The throat cream
It's the
and
kid
handcuffs
stealing
and
shit, dude.
Yeah, and the rock hard
Yeah.
erection
Yeah,
cream.
you know what? How dare everybody fucking pass judgment on her? Maybe she can't afford to get her husband up with her own fucking.
She's
throat
18.
because
She
it's
doesn't have a
super
husband.
sensitive.
You're 18.
Well, she can
She's
make her
18.
own decisions at this point. She
Dump that motherfucker and find somebody who can fuck you.
So she deserves 3 years in prison for the rock hard erection cream?
Oh, I didn't know
Doesn't that make
actually.
the law?
No, she deserves her fucking time because she fucking
Maybe
stole from somebody.
Maybe that was the
Yeah.
coke loop.
That's why.
It could have been the coke lube.
I don't give a shit what she stole from somebody and now she's in trouble.
The metal.
That's pretty much all that really matters.
Just pay for your stuff.
If she's scared to buy that
Like, you
shit,
can't make Robin Hood out of her because she wants to get a dick in her.
Yeah.
You know, like, I'm sorry, dude.
if she's scared to buy that shit, you know any guy would buy it for her.
Yeah, sure. Go on in.
So there's no reason.
But you know
to
what? But
steal
most
it.
guys won't buy the rock hard stuff because they want people they don't want the girl behind the counter to be like, oh, this guy can't get it out.
Where the hell did we go?
What man would want to do that? Hell no.
Yeah, what man would be like, yeah, I need this cream. I can't,
Yeah, exactly.
dick is broken.
Like,
my
yeah.
dick's busted.
No, a true man that would want to buy that would go up and be like, yeah, the girl thinks it's not hard enough.
Bullshit.
Oh,
Bullshit.
bullshit, why?
Bullshit. It
That's
doesn't
not
matter.
what I'm
You
saying.
need to get hard directly.
That's
From
what
the
fucking
source.
ecstasy's for, dude.
do some lines. There you go. You're good to go.
And you're good to go, right?
Yeah.
I don't know. I just kind of feel
Feel
like
like
it was.
X pill. It'll be fucking everything that walks.
Nothing
But
will
never
come of it,
finish
but
it.
you know.
Yeah, I'll never finish it, but don't worry, I'll have a good
Oh,
time.
you just fuck the shit out of it for 8 hours straight. That's fine.
All right.
It
So,
won't mind
I don't know.
whatever it is.
I just
Sounds
feel
a
like
plan.
if the laws become a blanket thing where it's like if you steal a donut or you steal a fucking tube of sex cream, it doesn't seem it doesn't,
Well,
like the
I
punishment
know,
doesn't
but
fit the crime.
I know, and then, but there's a reason for some
it
of
makes
that.
the law seem like one giant glorified security guard.
This-
Like, oh, she stole from corporate blah blah blah, therefore she must suffer the wrath. She's an 18-year-old girl who fucked up.
Yeah.
Well, see,
God,
it
if I had
reminds-
to pay for everything I did at 18
That's true.
in
Just-
jail.
honestly, it reminds
Yeah, but
me.
that
it's
just
like
means
a
you're
more,
lucky. A lot of people did have to pay for everything.
No,
they did
some
when they
people
were
did
18.
too, and
It's
that's fine, but
it sounds like a watered down
A lot of
Hammurabi's
people
law.
did
You
have to
remember
pay
eye
for
for
that
an
shit.
eye? So people that stole a loaf of bread would get their fucking
Yeah,
hands
dude,
chopped
I've been
off.
arrested
is
for
that eye
stuff.
for an eye?
I've been arrested for shoplifting, and I had to look
stealing.
people.
Oh,
I
this-
will steal your bread.
Yeah, this
You steal
Wonder
my
Bread
bread.
for my hand?
Well, no, this is going back to times before.
Well, that wasn't
It's
right
not
either.
really
No,
Hammurabi.
it wasn't right.
Yeah.
This is.
But Hammurabi's like, huh?
That's not my morality.
No,
Don't take
Hammurabi.
the left
Hammurabi. I don't remember the
Hammurabi.
fucking guy's actual name. I might be doing the wrong law. Hammurabi's law might be something.
No, you
different.
had it right.
It
You
was
got
right?
it wrong. You had the eye right. You got the law wrong. It's not.
Well, no,
it's
it
not
might
hand
be a
for
different law.
The law is not a hand for a bread. It's hand for a hand.
Well, no, but it got that fucking perverted by politicians and whatnot that at one point it got to the point
Yeah, huh?
of
Hand for a bread.
hand for
Hand
a bread,
for a bread,
Hand for a
dick
bread.
for a lube cream,
Jesus Christ.
head for a
arm for a calf,
deep throat desensitizing spray.
Exactly.
foot for a pair of
I mean,
handcuffs.
really, she deserves to lose 3 years of her life over deep throat desensitizing spray.
I mean, let's be
Do you
honest.
think they'll
Who
let her
here
keep
thinks
the
you should
spray
go?
in prison?
No.
Let's
No.
they need it.
Let's
No,
simplify
because
this
she didn't
even
think
further.
about the people who were just trying to sell something to make a fucking living, and she stole it from them.
Yeah,
She
she
got
had to
caught,
know.
and she was
She
dumb
had
enough to
to
get
know.
caught.
Let's
Let's not forget that fucking part of it.
Well, that's true.
Like, if you're gonna be a shoplifter, at least be fucking good at it.
at it,
She
yeah.
got
Exactly,
fucking
I
caught,
agree.
But let's-
and she was stealing from somebody. That's their livelihood. You might think it's
Well,
silly,
hold on.
but they
No,
sell
no,
that
no,
shit.
Hold on.
No,
she stole
no,
from
no.
a Spencer's.
Yeah,
that's
dick
not
cream
the
is not-
livelihood.
Well,
of
all right.
the
Well, no, you made
No.
it sound like she stole from like a sex
A
shop or
mom
something.
and pop sex shop.
Actually,
No,
if
there-
she
well,
did steal
dude,
from
there
a mom
are.
and pop- and mom and pop
I've
sex
known a
shop,
lot
I'd
of people
agree
who
with
worked
you.
in
Yeah,
sex
I'd agree
shops.
with you.
Yeah.
That's
I
a
would
business
agree.
like anything
No,
else.
there are a lot of people who own
Well,
sex shops, and
sure.
that's their business.
Yeah, I agree
and
with
that's
that.
what they sell. You
Hey,
know?
look,
Oh,
Go ahead.
I'm about 3 years though. That sounds like a pretty harsh penalty.
That's a
for stealing
harsh
something
penalty.
on the
Well,
shelf.
that's
Yeah,
just it.
well, you know
What
what?
was
If
the-
she has
what was the
multiple
actual-
mugshots,
what
she
was
might
the
like.
monetary
Well, this
price
isn't the multiple
attached to
mugshot.
it?
Oh, okay.
No,
This is
this
first
is
offense.
this is another thing. What's the monetary price tag that was attached to each of the items
Well, I
that she
don't know.
stole?
Well,
What
wait,
does
how
Sprite
old
spray
is
go
she?
for?
How old?
She's
Wait,
18. She's only 18.
Then that's
Yeah.
why.
If it
First
was-
off,
if
she's
it
an
was
adult.
collectively
Yeah, yeah.
li-
So
if
you
it
get
was-
tried as an adult. And theft is, dude, I mean, when they say 3 years, what they mean is like 18 months.
Yeah, I know.
You know what I mean?
Still,
like,
it's a lot of life to
Yeah.
live.
No,
with.
but
So,
that's why you
if
get a
it's-
lawyer and you fucking sign off for
Here's
fucking
the way
all
I
this
see it.
bullshit.
Community service.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it winds
I
up
don't like
becoming.
trash shop.
No,
I think
dude, but they're not. They didn't
community
Like, what
actually
are you in
put.
for?
They're
Throat
not
spray.
actually. They're not actually putting her in jail for 3 years. That's not
No, I
actually.
know,
gonna
I
happen.
know, but
No way.
No,
still
she's
sucks.
gonna,
You
she's
know,
gonna
like,
be in an
that's an
actual
important
cell for
fact
like
in
A
the story.
$5,000
The
fine,
worst
Jesus.
children
Yeah.
in
That's another big
community
thing. I mean,
service.
collectively, if
That's the
everything
worst
costs
she'll
less
do.
than $50, then you should.
Dude, she stole from
Yeah, I did it
somebody.
myself.
Yeah,
Yeah.
well, yeah. You do a
So,
couple days or
here's-
something.
It's
you know.
an
Here's my
unfair.
take. If you want to put it on a
You
personal
pay it
level,
back to the
if
owner.
someone
You do a
broke into-
couple days.
That's
You do
it.
some community
Well,
service.
yeah, but that's the old days. Now
No,
it's
if-
like
if-
SWAT team with 1,000 guns in your face.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Over
that's
every
true.
goddamn thing,
Yeah.
and it's like, what the fuck?
If
Dude,
someone
that
broke
is
in,
true.
if someone
Too much
broke into my
Joe.
house and they stole my 60-inch TV, I would beat the shit
Hold
out
on,
of them
hold
until
on.
they're
Yeah, they got a task
That
force
right.
for
If-
everything.
however, if they broke into my house and they stole my dick spray, I'd probably be like, that. Well,
Hold
fuck
on,
it, I'll go
pump me
get
in.
another thing
Pump
of
me
dick
in. Listen, there's a huge difference though between. First off, I like what Ryan said about the mom and pop shop thing.
Yeah.
If you steal from a small business, I have a problem
Well, fuck
with
you.
you.
Yeah.
If you steal a truck full of shit from Walmart,
I don't
fucking
give two
drive
flying
it to the
shits. Yeah.
sunset,
Yeah.
motherfucker. I don't care.
No, I
Job
agree
well done.
completely. I agree completely. But when I thought you said sex shop, like I had
would've
friends who
shit
worked
that
that.
No,
so a
no,
lot
no.
of them, you know,
I should
like,
have said
you know,
no. It was
most of them
Spencer's.
are privately owned. You know,
It was
like
Spencer's, which
franchises.
is
yeah, they're not franchises,
It's like
but they're
under an
people who
umbrella
talk
of a
to
bigger-
distributors.
What's up,
you know,
Tom?
like,
Underneath it.
the toys underneath me. Oh, hey. Just a shout out to our other
He
sponsor.
He just had that statue.
We
you
all
of
fucking
like
set
Special
us up.
Woman.
You set us up.
The auto blow
You
too.
knew we'd be talking
Now,
about
this
sex
right
shops.
here, this right here is an automatic blowjob machine. Now you plug it right into the wall, hands free. They're actually creating a tripod for it. so that it sort of, to ensure that it sort of pooches up at you.
Yes.
And,
And it'll reach around and love you.
yeah, it'll love you. Now, Japan or
Just one
China
on
or
a cheek.
one of those.
Yeah, there you go.
They just released a chair that's got arms on it that will hug you. It's
Well,
like
I call it,
$400.
but I not call it.
So you sit on a chair. Now imagine this: you sit on a chair, it hugs you. You strap on your Auto Blow 2. You put on your Oculus Rift.
If the end of his
Take a
sentence is,
rag off
if
your
the
mouth,
end of his
you
sentence,
slowly fall
I was gonna say, and at the
don't
end,
forget
at the end of that
right
sentence, you put the gun in your mouth and you pull the trigger.
Boom!
Wait, what if the chair hugged you and then the auto blow was on you and you couldn't stop it?
Listen, I can agree. I can
Blow it
understand
against your
using
will.
an auto blow, but when you build a metal structure to love you, you have problems.
See, here's the question that I have.
Cost a lot.
Yes,
I mean,
yes.
there are certain steps in my mind
You've
that you should
created
take
an AI.
when you have a hugging chair and a blowjob machine. I mean, first off, I hear no mention of a bite plate. Secondly, is there an airbag apparatus in case there's a sudden stop?
I know, right?
I mean, let's say you got your Oculus Rift on, right? And you want to simulate.
Are
being
there
blown while
handlebars
driving.
that give your heart rate and speed per
Oh,
minute?
yeah. No, and I know that there's a new sensor that can
That's how
detect
they
the
do that
UV as
walk.
well.
That's what.
That's how they do it at Walgreens.
Yeah.
They monitor how far you've jerked off. All right, 1 mile, 2 miles, 3 miles.
And then there's a special sensor to let you know if you were out in the sun jerking yourself off with
Yeah,
your machine
right.
for too
A
long.
sun sensor?
Yeah, for UV.
And then it can
You
set
don't
to your,
wanna get
and then it
sunburned when
can
you've
set
got
to
the
your
Oculus Rift on.
preferences. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
Because when you have the Oculus Rift on, you don't really know how if
It'll
you're out
be
in the
like a real-
daylight
you know?
or the nighttime or what while you're jerking it. You know.
You know.
It's future day, you know, anything's possible.
Yeah, exactly.
You might
Look, it's the future. There's no more sun.
Yeah, you might think it's the night right now, but the sun's blaring.
It's fucking.
Somewhere.
It's the Matrix out there. It's just a
all-
sky full of fucking clouds and darkness.
Why go
Matrix
outside?
is.
Why go outside? Your fucking Oculus Rift does it all.
There's no
It
need.
does. You don't have to walk outside anymore, or do you?
Or who would know?
You don't know. Maybe you're in an Oculus Rift right now, motherfucker.
I might be.
You're
I might be
someone else's
3
Oculus
generations in.
Yeah.
I'm just somebody else's character who's just really good.
Well, I can speak for everybody else in saying if you are in an Oculus Rift, you're in mine, and it's been going on for a long time.
So
Okay.
you think it might have just started 5 minutes ago?
Allegedly.
It
That sounds
didn't.
about right.
It didn't.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So,
Yeah, stop.
woman goes to the emergency room because she stuck pop rocks up her twat to enhance sex.
Where do these come from? Now you're just making shit up.
I am not.
Now you're
making
just
these
making
up.
shit up.
I do
dude.
And
not
in
make
other
shit up.
news, a woman stuck a meat grinder in her vag.
No, no,
What
pop
the
rocks.
fuck? Where do you go for your news? My
So
God.
here's a question.
rocks.
So why'd she go to the hospital for it?
Right?
Because it was burning and hurting and stinging.
Okay.
Probably
yeah,
got
so,
allergic.
you know.
Yeah, I mean.
Really? That's what happened when she put it up there?
Rice Krispies in my cooler.
You know, I don't have
Snap,
a
crackle, and pop her up there.
Explosive sex.
I don't have a vagina, and I could kind of assume that painful things
Yes,
would
you
happen if
do.
you stuck that in your vagina.
Well, now wait a minute.
Not physically.
I have seen pornos where girls stick lollipops up there.
Yeah, but a lollipop doesn't have
Lollipop
a
is not a pop
reaction.
rock.
Yes, that's true. So what was it? The sugar
Yeah, but
candy, or
imagine
was
an
it the
exploding
reaction?
Lollipop.
The what?
Yeah, that's what I'm
Imagine an
saying.
exploding lollipop.
Was it the candy, or was it the reaction?
Well, whatever it was.
Coke on it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
See,
that
that's
probably
it.
did.
I just
You
wondered,
You
did
popped
he-
a Smartie in there,
was
poured
the
some
glass.
She didn't
Diet
mention
Coke
that
on
she
it.
snorted some of it first.
I just wonder how.
She popped the pot rocks in the pussy and the fucking coke up her ass.
Yeah,
That's it.
and then she did some jumping jacks and her vagina exploded.
Now that's a wild night.
What if she's
That's a wild afternoon.
what if she stuck
Bar stays at the Often Talk bar.
what if she stuck some Mentos in there with some diet soda?
That's what I'm
Oh,
saying, man.
Whatever the hell's going on.
Dude, you stuck a Mentos
She'd be dead,
and
right?
a
She'd be
Diet
dead.
Soda up to 12.
No, she wouldn't be dead, but she
What
would
if she
blow.
put a seagull in there and fed it an Alka-Seltzer? You're welcome, Internet.
Which brings us on to our next story. A local woman shoved a seagull up her ass and fucking...
Fed it an Alka-Seltzer. Yep, we're gonna roll with suicide.
Like I wasn't feeling well. I didn't know what to do. This is holistic.
I put an
Could you-
Alka-Seltzer in my
could you-
seagull in my ass.
Could you imagine the coronary photos?
Just imagine the coroner.
Yeah, right? Like, oh my god.
It's like,
Be my friend.
What?
New guy's in the back puking his guts out. All because he wanted to save a couple bucks.
thank you, Chris Farley.
Yes, sir.
The seagull's like, what's going on here? Whoa!
The worst turducken ever.
Oh, turbitchin.
Does everybody here know what a turducken is?
Or gulbitchin.
No, he doesn't know.
It's
okay.
amazing.
A turducken
Alka
is a
gulp.
turkey
Stuffed.
with a chicken stuffed in it, with a
Duck
duck
and
stuffed
stuffed
in
in-
that,
yeah.
with stuffing stuffed in the duck. And you
Yeah.
deep fry that motherfucker.
And you
Yeah.
eat the shit out of
And
that.
you eat it. Yeah.
And wrap
And
in
you grow a
bacon.
third testicle.
I've never
on
had
your head.
one, but I want to
I
try.
want one.
I want to.
Now
I
that's a
want one.
Thanksgiving
And then,
dinner.
and then your tongue buster
That's
yourself to
America
the dead
right
deer
there.
tongue.
I don't even really want it. I just have to know.
Yeah,
I
exactly.
just have to know. I mean,
You know,
like,
yeah.
I would probably only take like a little plate of it, you know? I'm
The
just
last person that had to know, just fair warning, the last person that had to know wound up with a rotten deer tongue in her twat.
touche.
Fair warning.
She had to know.
I will not judge you if you go on. Just know the possible repercussions.
No, I just want to
I
eat a
will
turkey
judge
and a duck and a chicken at the
Don't worry,
same time.
we will judge the
That's
shit
it.
out of you.
I don't want to fuck it afterwards.
Hey, even if you did want to fuck it, I couldn't blame you because you know what? It's
I could
interesting.
blame me.
I just
I have
imagine.
plenty of better things to fuck than a turducken.
I just imagine that the hubby sort of dumped her over upside down in the bed, pulled it
Like the
open,
Autoblow too.
and just funneled it in. You know, because how deep? I mean,
Yeah,
first
that's a
off,
group effort.
how deep did it go up in there to where he couldn't hose
Jesus,
it out?
Are we really?
We're back to it again. Yes, I know.
Well, I stuck a
Well, this
funnel
is
in
the
there.
original thing. We barely.
We're gonna
touched it.
talk politics or something.
We're all over the place.
But yeah,
all we can talk about is alien meat in women's vaginas.
alien meat.
Yes.
See, as soon as you said alien, I thought Martian, and I forgot. Oh yeah, deer. It's not normal
No.
meat. That's
Yeah.
not the
Yes.
regular meat that's shoved up.
Yeah.
It's not normal meat.
And not normal meat. That's
It's like
shoved up there.
$24 a steak at the store.
As compared to what you would call a normal vagina, yes, it's an outside meat that is normally contained
Those
therein.
two meats normally don't.
Don't exist there.
All right, so what would you do?
Connecticut.
Connecticut. Tyler Sullivan wandered home drunk and got into bed. Unfortunately, he wandered into the wrong apartment and got in bed with a stranger. He said he thought it was his mother's house. The funny part of the story is that when the stranger woke up and began screaming, he refused to leave.
Well, that's just rude.
That's
Not very nice.
That's just straight up rude. I
I
mean,
swear to God, I ate a squirrel. And I woke up in this Asian lady's apartment, and she would not stop screaming.
That happened to my ex-girlfriend. This drunk guy climbed in Brooklyn. He climbed into her window, and he went into the wrong window, and then scared the hell out of her. She's beating the hell out of him with
Everybody
like curtain
climbs
rod.
into their windows when they come home.
dude, when I'm hammered, there's no other way.
Oh yeah, that's how I get out of the truck. I just can't find the doorknob. I
Yeah.
just,
Yeah.
Fly out.
See, I can't do that. I'm
I
too
just
fat
roll
to
out
fit
onto
in
the
the
ground.
I just go right through the wall.
See, I just had an
There you
image of
go.
Woo just kind of half hanging in a window, passed
We'd
out.
be like slapping you through the window with like one of those pizza flippers.
Come on!
Whap!
He'd be like Winnie the Pooh.
Yeah,
You
he'd
see
see
Woo's legs dangling out
Winnie
of the
the
second
Woo.
floor window. They're just poking at it with a broom.
We're like putting honey around the outside.
Dude, I just made another skit to say I'm giving you go Winnie the Woo.
That's a
We
good
have a
one.
duo skit with you in a bear suit.
That's gonna be right up there with the Wooberkin.
Oh, that's
Chasing honey.
Horton hears a woo.
Hold on, what?
That's what I'm saying.
Horton hears a woo.
Horton hears a woo.
Horton here's a woo.
Dude, the fucking possibilities are endless.
All the woos down in Wooville, the tall and the small.
All
It's
of
like
which
80
was woo.
different woos,
Woo
all
was them
different
all.
sizes. There's one short woo with a giant head.
He's just sitting down there like, fuck Christmas.
It's Woo's head on a newborn's body.
Baby woo.
Jacket.
So,
So we're gonna need you to get an outfit.
Yeah, so basically we need you to find a headless baby.
Vernon, Connecticut.
Oh, goody. Connecticut. They
We're
know where
still
to,
in Connecticut.
they know how to fuck
Connecticut.
shit up in Connecticut.
Jeffrey Syrouse
Cyrouse. What? That doesn't sound right.
He's a girls' high school varsity coach.
Oh, that's just trouble. With a last name like that, sucks.
Well,
Okay.
he
So he hangs
fought.
out with teenage girls
It
all
sounds
day.
like a Mortal Kombat character.
Cyrouse
wins. Yeah, right?
Fatality.
Cyrouse, the
Cyrouse.
teenage girl raper, wish. Come here! Get over here!
He accidentally sent the video he claims intended for his girlfriend via Snapchat. And as soon as you say Snapchat, all
Nope.
bets are off.
No.
Things are fucked after that.
No.
Okay? Via Snapchat
I don't
of
know. I
himself.
still don't know what that is. Thank goodness.
Okay, it's a video service where you shoot a video out there, and every person who sees it can only see it for 10 seconds before it disappears.
And it's videos and pictures, and you can doodle and shit on it too.
Yeah,
I
but
don't-
once you watch it, you can't watch it again, so
Yeah.
it disappears after
And
that.
if you do a screen
weird.
cap, the sender gets notification, and
Yeah.
they can approve or deny it.
Yeah. So
That's not silly.
he sent a video via Snapchat of himself masturbating.
Oh, I thought maybe a video of him shoving a.
He
dick
accidentally
up his ass.
sent it to some of the players on the high school team.
Oh.
He claims it was meant for his girlfriend, and that
Yeah,
him and his
sure.
girlfriend. he's
What
like
was
in
he
his
doing in
50s,
it? It was
same
just
old jerking off,
Just
jerking
alright.
his cock. Yeah.
Go back to
Alright.
what you said about some of the members. So he had to have sent it to a group
Well,
of people.
yeah, they did say it was
Yeah.
multiple members of the
Yeah,
high school
his
varsity
girlfriend is
team.
not a group of people.
Well,
Exactly.
here's
You could have a group though linked together to one name.
yeah, it could have been
Just
a group
say
chat by
football.
accident.
Well, yeah, but I would assume girlfriend and underage.
Well, you know,
Maybe he had a group. Maybe he accidentally
group.
sent it to a group. You know,
Well,
maybe
unless it was like
maybe he
unless
tagged
the
his
friend
girlfriend
could
in
be
it
Jake-
or whatever. But
the-
you know, maybe he accidentally sent it to
the
I don't know.
varsity sports
I
team.
don't know,
What,
that's
what
weird,
team?
though.
What kind of team was it?
It was soccer.
It was soccer.
Yeah.
So maybe his girlfriend's name was like Sosha or Sue something. Just so because like alphabetically they're
So
close.
Kara.
So Kara. Yeah,
Sure.
that sounds like
Sure.
a normal human name.
Yeah, that totally sounds like
yeah.
what happened.
I don't know what happened.
He went to send it to Darling Sokara,
Thank
his
you,
girlfriend
Sean.
of 5 years, and
Yo,
accidentally.
Angel just said I'm in Connecticut.
Watch out.
Yeah, watch out. Shit's getting all Florida.
Yeah,
over
don't
there.
join any varsity soccer teams, dude.
Watch your back.
Why can't he just
Yeah.
text it like normal people?
Watch
Really?
away.
Right, look, man.
If she's your girlfriend, she's gotta delete it.
Anything that you do that goes to any sort of public forum is
Is there
kind of
forever.
your fault a little bit.
Yes,
Kind of.
I
lot
agree.
of it.
I'll give you an
It's
example.
completely.
Everybody got all up in arms
Oh,
with
the
fucking
fappening.
Jennifer Lawrence thing. And I said
But
this. I
that's-
went,
no.
look, she of course can take videos and pictures of herself naked if she
Yeah.
wants. But she uploaded it to a
The
cloud.
Dude,
and
are
when
you
you put it in a
serious?
cloud,
No, dude.
there
Have you
forever.
have you rich
It's there
motherfuckers ever heard of a disposable camera and film?
yeah, film,
Like,
dude.
dude, seriously.
And I'm not saying that's
Like,
her fault.
and then you can burn
Look,
that shit
no,
and the
here's my
negatives.
claim.
You know,
Let me finish
like-
my claim. I gotta
finish
finish my
but
claim.
I want in on afterwards.
We, as in the people in this room and everybody like us, are visitors to the internet, not rulers. The people who rule that are the people who rule it, and the hackers do. So when you put bait out there for people who you know can get
Yeah.
into your shit and
Yeah.
are not good
Easy
people,
money.
you
We're
have
not,
to be
yeah, we're
careful.
not the people who
Not
run
to
that
mention,
shit. Yeah.
We don't run
please,
that shit.
Please bump me in.
Yeah.
Not to mention, you have to realize it was an Apple thing. If anybody here has an Apple phone and they know the security questions, it's stupid shit like, what was the name of the street
And
you
this
grew
is
up
why
on?
10 years ago
Or what
I
was your
said
first
I
pet?
hate iTunes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What was your first pet?
I said
Who was
that,
your
you
third
stupid
grade
question.
English teacher? If you fucking Googled any of those about Jennifer Lawrence, most likely you're gonna find the right answer. So
You might.
if you get her
Right.
email address, you
Yeah.
can fucking reset it. It had
That's
no
right.
hacking at all.
And
It's
again,
just, you just need someone that's
no,
got a little common
absolutely
sense.
no disrespect to anybody that happened to. But the other problem I had with that whole thing was that when it happened to, I'll run off a string of names: Kim Kardashian, Paris Hilton, Fred Durst, Colin, what's his name? Colin Farrell. It happened to him. When it happened to all
Emily
those
Anderson.
people, Emily,
No, but
any
a
of
lot
those
of
people,
those were like
no
video
one
footage,
gave
you know?
a fuck.
Yeah, no, the
no
original.
one
yeah.
gave
The original.
a fuck.
Pamela Anderson and Tommy, what's his fuck?
Lee.
No, but the
Tommy
one
Lee.
They
thing-
gave a fuck
the
because
one,
Jennifer
no.
Lawrence is the milk
But
white
the-
princess
hold up. No,
of
no,
the
no.
movies right
no,
now.
but okay,
Yeah,
but
no,
I'll
she
sidebar
was
here. But I'll
sweet and innocent.
sidebar here for a second, though. I'll
He's been
sidebar
bumped
here.
in.
I've been bumped in. I'll sidebar here for a second.
Oh no, I saw.
What if
Robert.
one of the major reasons? Okay, so
It was
Hold on.
you put something to the cloud. You know what I mean? Like I mean, I don't know about you guys, but like when I save something, or I do things on there, like I expect a certain amount of privacy. You know what I'm saying? Like maybe the real issue here is not only that, but like to hack those files or to obtain those files, you first have to know that those files exist.
Well,
which means
not necessarily.
yeah.
You can just go digging.
Exactly. I know, but that's my point. When you go digging, you
Yeah,
find, which means you know they exist.
Here's
what
what I
I'm
think.
saying
Here's
is
what I think.
that you put those things up there, but they are not secret. Like you think that
Oh,
they're
no,
saved.
they're not safe.
They're monitored.
No, nothing's
They're
safe.
watched.
But
They're
here's what
looked
I
at.
think.
Like what if some dude who works for Apple or whatever, or whoever works for the cloud or some shit, like was monitoring everything and was just like, oh shit, they get pictures of Jennifer
Well, that's a
Lawrence.
possibility,
I
too.
know a
That
motherfucker.
That's
You
an
know, I
absolute
know a dude who will
possibility.
pay me fucking solid money to hook him up with a fucking link and
Yeah,
get
sure.
at this.
Sure.
And
It's
so,
people.
yeah, you know what I mean?
In
like
the end, it's still not
that's
AI.
what I'm saying. But
It's
but
people.
the point that I'm trying to make is that means when you save shit, it's monitored.
Yeah.
It's looked at. All your
look,
data,
man,
all
Edward
your
Snowden-
fucking data is being monitored and
Edward
it's being
Snowden
watched.
recently said people shouldn't even be using Facebook right now.
No, yeah.
You know, and that's
Dude, that's what I'm saying. Like,
good for you, man.
the simple fact that things like that can leak out from the cloud means that initially the cloud is being monitored.
just not
People know that
safe.
those files exist because they've looked at them. It's not a secure location
not fake. It's not
for your
safe.
shit.
You
Yeah.
have dumbasses
No,
fucking
it's all good,
writing
man.
every fucking
minute of their
schedule.
lives. Yeah.
Their schedule. I'm like, dude, you want to fucking get raped or fucking murdered or fucking whatever?
Yeah.
Well, yeah. People do dumb shit too. I mean, like, dude, when you like, you have an app with the cloud and you take pictures and send it out, like, dude,
My
come on,
favorite
are
story
you
about
fucking?
that.
You're a celebrity too. Like, that's kind of stupid.
Well,
My
that's the
favorite
other
story
thing.
with that was,
Hold on, let me bump
I don't
you in
know,
so you have the floor.
Does anyone watch Storage Hunters?
Couple shows,
Yeah, I've seen it a
whatever.
few times. Yeah.
There was a story, I think it happened like a year ago. One of the guys, he did one of those like, those old school MTV like cribs, whatever. Like, oh, this is what I have. He did that stupid thing and showed everything, all the valuables it had.
Yeah.
After that, he got fucking robbed.
Got robbed. Yeah,
Yep.
sure.
And I'm like, that's your own dumb fault.
Dude,
you
some
wanna
people,
flaunt
but
the
some
shit that
people
you
would
have?
argue.
To advertise that shit.
Some people would argue that, and it kind of like, it bothers me because I agree with people who say this, but I also know it's not reality, which is you shouldn't have to worry about people coming and stealing your shit. But you do have to worry.
Yeah,
Because
No,
there will
exactly,
always
yeah.
be bad
Yeah,
people.
of
There are
course.
bad people.
Yeah.
And they're all perched and waiting for you to
just
live
like-
in a way where you live in your own world where you say, oh, I shouldn't have to worry about
Exactly,
this. They
yeah.
expect
since-
you to do that.
Since
No.
long before that, I'm sure
Bad
there was a
people
caveman
expect
out
you
there.
to depend on the goodness of others.
Thousands of years ago, I'm sure there was a caveman out there that was like, I shouldn't have to worry about woolly mammoths. And you know what? That motherfucker probably got impaled by a fucking woolly mammoth and then
It's
fucked to
not-
death by
it's
its
not-
children.
It's not that.
Just throwing
It's
that
if
out
you
there.
make yourself into
Don't
if you make
assume
yourself
shit.
into something.
Yeah.
If you make yourself into something that's bigger and you're noticed,
If you think
that,
that you're
like,
larger than life, you're gonna have a
they're
larger target.
gonna
Of
watch
course,
everything
that's
that
how
you
it
do.
always happens.
And
Yeah.
but that's what I'm saying is the implication though
All right.
is that they are indeed watching.
Yeah.
They sell you security, but it's false security. Like
It's
the cloud is
security that's
bullshit.
provided
Like, did you
by
notice?
Anonymous
Did you
will
notice
tell
that
you
after
that
that?
there is no security.
Did you notice? But did you notice what happened after that? After that leak, after that massive, and it was such an invasion and all that. You started seeing commercials on TV for the personal home cloud.
Yeah.
And you can keep this
Yeah,
cloud
hold on,
in your house.
hold on.
You mean a flash drive? You know what I mean? Like, you mean a fucking USB hub?
Hold on.
But the second that shit happened, they were already ready with a commercial and a marketing program saying, "Oh no, but you know what? You can have your own locked version of the cloud inside your house."
Yeah,
Like,
Bump Dave in.
There is a saying in computer security, which is the only safe computer is one locked in a room that's not online.
yes,
Yep.
exactly.
Point to that, Dave.
Because
Exactly.
anything that's online,
No, it's true.
anything that's online
Well, there's a
is
community.
accessible.
Yeah, there is
A
a
safe
community
computer
watching
is an
that shit. I
unplugged computer.
mean,
Yeah.
Well, one of the things that somebody said online that everybody hailed as brilliant was somebody tweeted oh, people are getting mad at them for posting their stuff to the cloud. Well, when you do your banking online, nobody says you shouldn't use banks online. And I said, Yeah, actually, a lot of people say that that's not safe. I don't think it's safe. The only reason I have a bank account is because I have to right now. I don't think my bank account is safe. Some asshole in Australia a few years ago printed out a check he designed himself, signed it himself, and drained my bank account with a check he created himself. Jesus. And I'm like, I didn't think it was safe then. I didn't think it was safe before then, and I don't think it's safe now. So no, I disagree with you. I don't think banking online is the smartest fucking thing to do either. I do it because what the fuck am I supposed to do?
I've done it for years, and I haven't had an issue with the online.
But you know it could.
I've had shop issues actually. I've had issues.
In the past 12 months, my debit card has been compromised 3 different times. All 3 times. One of them was for a Christian Mingle subscription.
Wow.
I had my card blocked, and when I called up customer
Andrew's for
service,
Jesus, though.
Yeah, when I called customer service from my bank account, they're like, "Well, we have a few random charges. We're gonna go through it." And they always go through like that list of shit, and you're like, "All right, yeah, I put gas in my car that day. Yeah, I went grocery shopping that day." And then they were like Christian Mingle, and it was like,
that was me.
I've never even
mingled in my life.
I don't mingle with humans, let alone Christians. What's going on here?
Sorry about that, bro.
I was gonna bring that up offline.
Look, listen. I gotta stop this right now because we have a piece of content to air.
Ooh, content.
Around 11
I
o'clock.
love content.
Around 11 o'clock. Joseph from Politically Exhausted is going to Skype in with us, and we're going to have a killer conversation. I hope he's out there drinking right now.
You better get a nice buzz on, bro.
We're going to show a piece. We're going to show a piece from him from his show about the Ebola quarantining that's going on.
Yes, the Ebola
and his take on it, which is very interesting. In addition to that, you're also going to see a piece from just about everybody performing on November 15th at the Saint with Awesome Talk. You're going to see comedy from Mike Scroy, Foster the Genius, music from Teddy Faley, music from T.W.i.N.E. You're going to see a piece from Sherman Tanks, the podcast, which is audio. And I want you to check
all of it.
Did I leave anything out? Is that everything?
Probably forgot something.
You left some things out, but I don't remember what they are.
There's a veritable plethora of shit that you're about to listen to.
I had Brian's beatboxing in there.
Oh, there's beatboxing there. B-Trey, who's going to be kind of like a host of the show. Rodney, the trailer for Rodney Rush's film Bad Buddha is in there. So you're going to get a nice blend of all the people that are involved with the November 15th show at the St. Asbury Park. And
this is just a little taste.
But
it kicks off. The deer tongue.
It kicks off with Joseph Lemieux from Politically Exhausted. So please check it out. It's about 27 minutes worth of stuff. It's all amazing. And we'll be right back here. And check it out. Get guitar.
Okay. This is my instrument. Enjoy, world.
What's going on, guys? This is PETV. I'm your host, Joseph Lemieux, and today we're going to talk about the Ebola quarantine. Does it make you safer, or does it violate your rights? I guess we'll find out. So we got this Ebola quarantine that's actually finally getting taken into effect in some places. And I say finally because I'm actually surprised it took this long for the government to do it. Not that it's necessarily a good thing. So what do we see? Government usually does this. They create a problem. You're like, hey, Anya, someone fix this problem. And then the government gives you the solution. But their whole plan to begin with was that they wanted that solution. That's why they created the problem to begin with. And usually when it comes to fear, people don't think in their right mind. It's just everywhere gone. You know, logic goes out the window and it's fight or flight. So look at this Ebola quarantine going on here. Just the Ebola crisis in general. The fact that I'm calling it a crisis is kind of ridiculous. I mean, don't get me wrong, stuff's happening in Africa. It sucks. But one case in the US, everyone's going nuts. You know, because the CDC lied to us about a lot of things. Understandable. I understand people being scared. But people's fear should not trump people's rights. So here we go with the Ebola quarantine. Now they're actually quarantining people. Now, they're not quarantining people that have Ebola. It's people that they just merely suspect. And they're gonna give them that 20 days that they have to stay in their house. And the perfect example of this would be the nurse in Maine. And everyone's giving her a lot of shit for saying, I'm not gonna follow this quarantine. And I can't blame her, I don't think. If she doesn't have the virus and she's being checked daily to see if she gets any symptoms, so she can't spread them. The only way you can spread it is through symptoms. So what are they doing in reality? Well, they're going, well, we suspect you of something, so we're gonna lock you down. Now, that might seem like a good idea to some people, but you know, losing your rights is a slippery slope. Once you let it go a little, it's gonna go a lot. So now she's stuck in her house. She doesn't want to leave. She is leaving, and what do? They send the police to watch her now. Let's keep this in mind. There's no proof she has Ebola. It's just mere speculation, and they're locking her down in the house. Now, that might not seem too big of a deal for a lot of people because it's like, oh, well, you're in your own house. So, you know, it's not really like being arrested or anything. But I mean, they're trying to detain her against her will, and they're just giving you, oh, well, it's in the house, so it's okay. You know, it's not really that serious. But, you know, they're completely violating her rights. Now, a lot of people are going to be like, that's too extreme of an example, the one I'm about to give you. And because, you know, but history, you're doomed to repeat it if you don't understand history. So that's why I'm going back to the example I'm about to bring up. And if you think it's extreme, fine, but it happened in history and we can learn a lesson from it. Okay? Now, the Jews in Nazi Germany. Do you think just one day they all of a sudden were being marched into camps? No. First, it started out with, well, you can't own businesses, Jews. And they're like, oh, I guess I'll listen, you know, we don't want to cause too much trouble to the government. And then it goes, well, you guys can't own property anymore now, so we're going to put you in ghettos. And they're like, well, you know, I guess we don't want to upset you or get hurt, we might as well go on, this will end sooner or later. And then it went from in the ghettos to, well, now you guys got to go to these work camps and work for us. And so they kept on going along with that. And then before you know it, the death camps were in process. It starts little by little. If we start accepting the fact, well, he's accused of having Ebola, let's lock him down and violate his rights, well, where does it go from here? Does it go from, well, there's 10 people or 100 people that were in contact with this one person that got Ebola, everybody gets scared, throw logic out the window, let's put these people in a FEMA camp and just make sure they're okay, you know? And it's just that slippery slope. We're gonna go down it if we keep this up. And I think everyone that's flipping out, getting scared out of their minds, going, oh my God, we need to lock this person down because we might catch Ebola, is just ridiculous in my mind. Your fear and your safety does not trump anyone's rights, and the government doesn't have the right to do that as well. So I think we should definitely, no, don't quarantine people. The quarantine should be on their own responsibility. Now that might scare a lot of people because a lot of people are irresponsible. Yes, I know. But it doesn't matter. We have no right to lock them down because we think they have Ebola. Now, if this person is confirmed, oh, they're showing symptoms, they have Ebola, then by all means, they should not go out and do anything. But, you know, once again, that's a personal responsibility. And we should definitely, and a lot of family members pressuring people to be quarantined if they do have it, they'll do it, you know? But I don't think government-sanctioned quarantines are really the best idea possible. If anything, they're more dangerous to American freedom than anything else. Alright guys, I hope you enjoyed this show. If you did, please give it a thumbs up, hit that subscribe button so you can see anything else we put out next. This is Politically Exhausted Television, and we support your right to information.
Keep it 100% real. He's already performed in Carolines. He's a writer for AmericasComedy.com. Give it up for Mike Scroy.
All right, round of applause for Angelo. Working hard, putting this together. All right, yes. The drink specials are $5 and the hookers are $5. This is going to be a fun night for a lot of people. All right. Yeah, so my last name is Scroy. It's a 5-letter last name. And it's spelled S-G-R-O-I, very easy. But I find when I'm on the phone, like with an operator, I have to spell it out phonetically. You know, S's and Sam, G's and George. I hate spelling my name out phonetically. Tired of it. Whenever I get angry, I just get political with things, so I'll be on the phone. S's and socialism, G's and gas prices, R's and racism. And then they hang up. I have to pay my bill, which is cool. But Troy is an Italian last name, Italian on both sides of my family. You know what I love about being Italian is going out to eat with other Italians. Because everything is over here with Italians. Hey, over here, you go out to eat. Hey, we're going to have sausage and peppers over here, some manicotti over here, some cannolis over here. And the check comes. Give that to Paulie, he's over there. Now, on my mom's side of the family, my grandfather, he, you know, as he got older, some health issues, he would do things and he would whisper to me, go get me a little soda, get me a little soda. And he would do that because he was afraid of my grandmother. This guy fought in World War II and killed Nazis. Afraid of my grandmother. That's what we needed during these wars. We need the wives to get involved. You going to fight a war today? I don't think so. You have a shed to build, mister. We're not fighting wars. And on my dad's side of the family, the only stereotype really, my grandparents on that side of the family kept the plastic on the furniture. And I remember being a kid, and they were going to throw away the furniture set, and I'm like, Grandma, why are you throwing away the couch? Well, Michael, it's getting old. Oh, you didn't open it yet. So we got Thanksgiving coming, Christmas right around the corner. I'm not ready for Halloween yet. I haven't prepared. It just goes by so quick. I heard I live in New York now, on the Upper West Side, they were giving out Whitman samplers to the kids, these rich people. They're like $64 a box. I mean, you bother with your credit cards, you get frequent flyer miles. But my favorite holiday is Chinese New Year. Chinese New Year will be coming up in February. Yeah, cheer for Chinese New Year. Okay. Representing the other coast. Took a boat in, rickshaw. Chinese New Year, they always have an animal for every year. And I never knew what the animal was for the year I was born. So one day I'm at a Chinese restaurant, and on the placemat, they had all the animals of the Chinese New Year. I was like, oh, great. So I'm looking at it, and there's a lot of tough animals on there. There's, oh, look at that, the tiger. Oh, the snake. I'm born 1981, the year of the cock. And I'm compatible with the ox. Oh, great. My future wife will look like a defensive tackle for the Giants. Be looking forward to that. Just gonna have a beard. I do know what I want in a woman. I figured it out. I have OCD. I want to meet a girl who has ADD. Because when I repeat myself, it'll benefit her. She might miss it the first time. It's a good relationship. Yeah, so afterwards we're all going to go out and get drunk. That'll be fun. That's why you go out, right? I mean, alcohol tries to associate itself with being very sophisticated. It's a very sophisticated thing, alcohol. I mean, think about it. You know, you think of the Gatsbys and these parties and fancy clothes, and even Johnny Walker, you look at the label, he's got a top hat, cane, and coattails. Sophisticated. How many sophisticated drunks do you know? Be at a party, some guy with a monocle, looks like the Penguin, walks up to you. Yes, I only drink Johnny Walker, I'm very sophisticated. Oh, really? Where are your pants? Oh. And they have dress codes, a lot of these bars and a lot of these clubs, you know. We're going drinking, we have to dress up, can't wear sneakers, you wear shiny shoes, shirt, tie, the suit. You know why you go inside, everybody's passed out in a tuxedo? I got puke on my suit. Well, at least it was Armani. So. Now, Johnny Walker's campaign slogan is keep walking. Johnny Walker, keep walking. And in the commercial, they have people chopping down trees, building log cabins. Johnny Walker, keep walking. And then they have troops storming the beaches of Normandy in World War II. Johnny Walker, keep walking. That's not what keep walking means. Keep walking is what you're telling your friend when you're dragging him home at the end of the night. Come on, the car is right there. Keep walking. Keep walking. Sophisticated, remember. And in that same commercial, they had the Wright brothers on their first flight. I don't know about you, but after a few Johnny Walkers, I don't think that flight would have been so successful. All right, well, the plane's in the air and it's upside down going backwards. That counts as flight, I guess. We did it.
Hey, yo, little man. See that girl's ass?
Man, I've been hit there.
Putting this shit on Facebook.
Had a great time, babe.
So did I.
Bye.
Holy shit!
Damn! Putting this shit on YouTube. I'm going viral, bitch.
Give me a bad Buddha, a bad Buddha. Oh, bad. Bad Buddha. Oh, bad. Give me the bad Buddha, a bad Buddha. Give me the bad Buddha.
Make some noise for yourselves. Make some noise for yourselves. There's racism still in the building. White people, make some noise. Yeah! Yep. See that? See that? They don't even make noise. I'm gonna just see if racism is still in the building. Whew. Here we are. How you doing? Excellent. I just got a question. If you saw me walking down the road coming towards you, would you move to the other side of the road? Perfect. That'll help my robbery go a whole lot smoother. I'm just playing with you. I am not a thug. How y'all feeling in here? Just want to say, times have changed. Times have changed. There was a time where she would have been like, yes, I will get to the other side of the road. I miss Michael Jackson, y'all. I miss Michael Jackson. Yes, Michael Jackson. I miss his dancing really the most, but I always wondered about his dancing. Like, how do you come up with these dances? How do you come up with, how do you make that a dance? Because you can't go to a girl in the club like, hey, you want to dance? What's the matter with you? But I always wondered, how do you come up with these dances? Then it came to me one day. I had to go to the bathroom. And it's funny because we all do it. You know when you got to go to the bathroom and somebody else in there? You start off cool, like, whew. Gotta get to the bathroom. Hey, buddy. Whew. It's coming. Got to pee. You got to go. It's coming right now. So you know if Michael Jackson had to pee, James Brown had to have the shit. Cause he a loser. Oh man, what about that? Thugs make some building. So there are thugs in the building. They are. Just want to let y'all know I am not a thug. Recently just found out these past holidays on Black Friday, me and my cousin, we in line at Walmart like 4 hours. Right when they about to open the doors, these other thugs come cutting through the line, pushing people, slapping people. They got right to me and my cousin. He stopped them like, look, I don't give a damn who y'all is. They ain't gonna cut me. They slapped the shit out of him. He's looking at me for backup, but right at that moment, I noticed my shoe was untied. Wait a minute. I left the house. This was not like this. My cuff is undone too. Wait, stop. By the time I got up, they beat the shit out of him. Now you don't want to go with me nowhere. See, I'm a lover, not a fighter. I know my position in life. Other day I'm sitting in my car, this guy making a U-turn so close, he hit me. I looked at him like, hey, what the hell are you doing? But as soon as we made eye contact, I wanted to see who texted me like that. He was just blowing up my phone like this. I know y'all. Where the weed smoke at? Weed smoke in the building? Good. We don't smoke weed no more. I don't smoke weed anymore. I remember when I stopped smoking weed. I remember I hit the blunt. Dang, gangster right here. Hit it again. And it hit me. Did I just shit on myself? What kind of weed is this? I gotta stop smoking weed. So that day I'm driving home. sitting at the traffic light. I'm like, damn, why is this green light not turning red? I gotta get it on. I'm gonna be here all day. This neighborhood don't look too safe neither. Locking my doors, click, 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 and I only got 2-seater. I'm locking 4 doors. Oh man, I gotta get out of here. You can get carjacked around here. Right as I say that, get the fuck out the car. I'm like, oh shit, please don't kill me. Shut up and get out the car. Don't kill me. Don't kill me. Shut up and get out the car. Shut up. Shut up. I didn't even say shut up. I get out the car, look over, it's my own hand carjacking me. I gotta stop smoking weed. It's crazy. Crazy.
Yo, the talent heart in my hands, that one and all seems smart. I count backwards on the time it took for you to fall apart. You're just another lucky pin cushion. My life is sticking pins and everything that ain't moving, but I'm the asshole. The son of a bitch, the big brick who thinks that everything in life can be fixed. Instead of this. Now it's traveling in the country in a car without no tires and a driver with no money, with a face that never smiles, with a thing you don't find funny. On a day you'd rather die than find sunny. Ain't that something? Ain't no better way for me than discussing things that I ain't never care about enough to try to confront it. Flashlight, corners where the darkness never touched me, but come through the heaven, they were absolutely lovely. Dreams of cow friends, death and sidewalk money. I never really asked for nothing. You should know me as a person, not a talking point. A better version of a walking sore spot to get a bruise and ugly and you're lost out. I'll be counting down the seconds in between that lightning when it starts to echo. Can't believe the others wanted to plug them hoes. Wouldn't drain the ocean over which you dangle your toes. I never told you nothing that you ain't already know. But you already know that. You already know. And that's dirty, but fire from the fuel that you was pulled into a place. And I don't care what you do. Counting seconds it looks like we're y'all idiots. But the purpose not superior until that sentence and don't make me curious. But I'm the asshole who cares about you furious. And you're the baby that can't take me how it really is. We only dance under the street lamp with a bandit lid. I never heard you sing. Never seen me sit, but that's the thing, right? You had the brain crack, broke the blade off of every dirty sick night to wake up to a sun that never shines until you blink twice. Broke your eyes and forget last night. One day you'll goddamn very breath. Let a bitch your baby blues and out there spot all of your best friends. Only getting sleep back for the nights I went for you. Held my breath for you and bit my tongue. It ain't the light that qualifies the ladder, it's the rung. Take them out to your wax wings too far from the sun. Try your love on someone stupid. Someone who can think you can lose up with a mouth that ain't moving. Someone who can talk to you the way you want to talk to you and walk you to the fire, holding a hand that's not buckets of water. Coming down inside your own fist, justification of everything. You should find patience, baby. Got a marks and handprint, hard you, baby. Got a marks and handprint, hard you, baby. Got a marks and handprint, hard. I know you've been here. I know you've been here, baby. That'll bring her around.
Yo!
It's all about control, a lack thereof. Dictating statements laced with hatred, manufactured to define your engagement. Replacing faith in what they want you to see, and destroying all those who refuse to agree. You're exactly who they wanted us to be. Too neurotic to question what you're expected to believe. But this is all just my point of view. So hallelujah, motherfuckers! God is playing in the point of view you made. So back to that, your excuse persecute us. We're not afraid! Forced thought, surrounded by fear, and the clock is ticking with a condescending sneer. I remember every time I had a fire in my mind that suffocated down to a combined master's skull. Hallelujah, motherfucker! God is playing in the point of view you made. So like that your excuse persecute us, we're not afraid. Cause this plague is a point of view. So we're not afraid. So back to the your actions persecute us. We're not afraid.
Since we haven't gone there yet, I'm going to go there now. Because it is a Sherman Tanks podcast, and it's already been almost 15 minutes.
I wasn't like sucking my own dick when I said that.
No.
Like, literally, like I walked.
Hold on. It's almost been 15 minutes, and we haven't talked about something that we usually would have already talked about by now. And that's, now that you've lost some weight, does it feel like your dick is bigger to you?
Yeah. I think it was today or when I was I was gonna almost said her name. Oh fuck. When I was having sex with someone recently, that she was like rubbing my shoulders and going, "You really did lose a lot of weight."
Your shoulders.
And I was like, "What?" And then I'm thrusting repeatedly, obviously, and I'm like, "Yeah, I did lose a lot of fucking weight." And she's like, "I could see like almost like your ribs and like your fucking arms are getting bigger." I was like, "Yeah, my arms are fucking getting bigger," and I was just like stoked.
All right, so women might not know this. Whatever women are listening, the one or two that might be listening,
they aren't.
Of the
one or two that aren't.
Of the 5 people that might be listening, 2 or 1 might be a woman. And when a guy loses weight, especially when he is actually fat to begin with, that he should be losing weight. The first thing we notice is our dick seems bigger.
Yeah, what I don't know. So to continue, on what you just said, I noticed when I got up after I ejaculated that I was like, "Yo, my penis is longer."
Even if it's not true, it just seems it seems like there's less of everything else, so the dick takes a fucking firm stance. It becomes the star of the show.
It was proud. It acted like it worked out. Like it's been waking up at 5 a.m. to go to work.
It goes from getting the supporting actor Oscar to getting the lead actor Oscar.
Right?
Like, it just, out of nowhere, it's like, fuck this, I'm in the front, bitch.
I was like, "Yo, what are you doing there, bruh?"
So it's an awesome benefit of losing some weight.
So yes, it does. They found these homeless dudes that were injecting vodka into their veins. And
They had to die.
They were getting like drunk, like super fast.
You would die. It had to be like the most minimal amount of vodka.
No, it was like a shot of vodka.
No,
no,
they would just die.
No pun intended. No, dude, I'm telling you, no one. I didn't read anything about them dying. They said they took them to the emergency room, and they just were super fucking drunk.
And of course, they would have to fucking. That's poison.
Yeah, but I'm telling you,
directly into the veins.
It had nothing to do with people dying. It was just saying that they had like 20 patients, and it was like in some certain area of some city like Detroit, and they found these hobos.
Hobos.
Yeah, they're fucking shooting up vodka. What the fuck?
That's a death sentence, man.
Gooey, gooey, gooey. Kitty's bellies are gooey. Where's a kitty? Give me a kitty.
Oh,
Gooey. I need a kitty. Quick.
Watch him goo up
Stat. I need a kitty. Gooey, gooey, gooey.
They're funny.
We're back.
Hey, what's up?
Hey!
I got cornbread and chili.
Yeah.
I'm a happy motherfucker.
Yeah, everybody reel it in. All right.
Hey. Sorry, everybody. We were feasting gloriously.
Fuck that. The buffet is on, bitches.
Actually, we still are feasting gloriously.
All right, we got turkey, chili, and opinions, motherfuckers.
Yes.
All right.
Beat that.
So let's reel that shit in.
And you're gonna listen to them because we
All right.
said so.
Like it, damn it.
Yeah, god damn it.
Or you could not like it. That's fine
Yeah,
too.
whatever, if you guys want.
Because you're already hearing your two leaves.
I mean, it's really up to you, actually.
So,
no, it isn't.
Is this your beer, sir, or is it my beer?
That's your beer. This is my beer. So, welcome back. Awesome Talk,
What's
Season
that?
3, Episode 11.
your
Last episode before the live show
Yeah.
at the Saint. People have been coming and going all night in the chat and shit, so we're going to do it around the bar. And after the content around the bar, if you will. I am Rick.
I am Dave.
I am Scott.
I'm Ryan.
I am Andrew.
Hello, John.
I am Rue.
I am John also.
From where?
Damn it with the John.
No one heard
You got
it.
to change your name to only one John.
I am John of the internet.
John of the internet.
John Lackey, SuperTeamH2.com.
That's right.
So,
Nailed it.
in a couple, well, let's see. In about 20 minutes, 22 minutes to be exact, Joseph Lemieux from Politically Exhausted is going to Skype in. And we're going to have a kick-ass conversation with him. So, first off, all the shit that you just saw was from people who are going to be performing at the live show November 15th at the Saint.
Good Lord.
And if you need tickets for that, which are running out quickly,
This is a bad idea, Greg.
I said we're all going to be in the bathroom with this chili.
There's some shit going on over here I'm not
You give
comfortable
us
with.
chili and beer.
Damn you fools.
Let me just tell you guys
Open
something,
the
right?
other window.
It's a recipe for disaster.
And chili.
Look,
Nothing good is
it doesn't
coming
matter
out of
what night it is, he would still be back there doing that. Doesn't make a difference.
It's just a little louder right now, that's all.
this. Every night is a carnival.
Yeah, you know, I bust ass and sell meth.
Yeah,
That's how I roll.
to kids.
Yeah,
Well,
that's-
duh.
that's the
You
norm
can't sell
nowadays.
meth to adults.
Do you mean
They
like
put
you
on
like?
cops.
Do you
Yeah,
mean like you
exactly.
bend over, fart, and meth flies out, and kids receive it and pay you money for it?
Pretty much.
Yeah.
Stupid.
You're like a meth ass
They
Pez
pay
machine.
you with PayPal.
No,
There you
pop
go.
Meth ass
go-
Pez.
I'm having nightmares.
A meth ass Pez machine, or an ass meth Pez machine,
Don't
or an
ever
ass
Thanks a
Pez
lot.
meth machine.
Don't ever
Alright.
go ass to meth.
I like ass Pez
Ass
meth
to
machine.
There you go.
Ass Pez meth machine.
So let me throw
let it be
something.
written.
Let me throw something new out there
It's
for
been
you guys.
trademarked.
There's a company.
We going to the top, son.
There's a company. The only name I could find for this company was Roseland, New Jersey-based ADP Inc.
That's where I used to work.
Oh, all right.
Oh, nice.
Let's do it.
Yeah, I got
So
paid.
it's real.
Yeah.
It's totally legit now.
The company denies forcing Daniel Saka to quit his job over some lumberjack-themed photos that he did for Playgirl magazine in the 90s.
What?
He said the harassment became so unbearable that he was forced out, and he is now suing the company.
Damn straight sue the company.
It sounds like a fucking pussy.
No.
Oh man.
Come on.
Hey, he needed the
Some
money.
dudes were giving him some fucking
Sounds
jokes
like he was
about being.
subjugated.
Dude,
Yeah,
I mean,
he
like, if
needed
you
the
were
money,
comfortable
dude.
about being in Playgirl magazine, you'd be like, yeah, damn right, bitches want to see my cock, so, well, yeah.
I got
I'm
paid
going
for
back
my
to the
dick
fucking
pics. You
mill
got
now.
arrested.
Like, I mean,
Back to the
so
farce.
what? He's saying he was bullied out of a job,
Yeah.
and now he's suing the company
For not
because he
intervening.
made a decision to pose naked in a magazine.
Well, he did in the 90s.
And he was booed
Yeah.
out of his job.
I mean, that means by now he could be
Yeah.
how old? I mean,
Yeah, but that's a sense of harassment.
Well, I'm just saying, though, that's a stretch, you know? Like, what's his case?
That's bullying, right?
Does he
there.
have, like,
Yeah.
witnesses
Yeah,
and
that's-
shit?
yeah.
I understand
Alright.
he made that choice, and whatever was his decision for it.
No,
That's
yeah.
up to him.
He doesn't have to be harassed about it.
To be bullied like that, man. Come on, man. When it comes to work, work is work, man. You don't fucking involve any play in it.
Jesus
man.
Christ! I drop a
any
bottle of
personal
milk and you guys make fun of me for 2 months. You know?
First question that rises to me is which one of his coworkers found the Playgirl that he was in?
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah,
Good
that's
question.
what you gotta
Good
do.
question. There you go.
That's right.
Oh, we're
Yeah,
getting
that's
psychoanalytical
You know what?
on this
Yeah,
motherfucker.
Fuck that guy.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
That would be my first reaction. It's like, oh, you saw those pictures of my penis. Was it mid-stroke when you saw it?
How long?
And then all of a sudden it would all stop.
And how long did it take you after reading the magazine to come and talk to me?
Now, did you finish before you brought this up to me?
Yeah, right.
Or are you like mid-stroke right
How
now?
close were you to finishing before you realized it was me?
Wait a minute, you mean to tell me you were looking at the ginger
And
in
how
the
far
article
after
before
finishing
me?
did you accept it?
I have a desk like me next to you, man. You know?
Yeah. When they saw it beforehand, I'm like, God, he looks so familiar.
Yeah.
You okay, Greg?
Why am I so
What is
roused?
with this
Why
guy?
am I so
You know?
roused, Daddy?
What's with this dude? We all assume that it's a guy who found them, by the way. That it's some weird dude in the office jacking off.
Hey, Bob, you still do that star shape down there? You
I'm
still
not sure. I'm not sure that I assumed that, but now you got it in my head. Thank you.
You're welcome.
It's like his boss comes in and he's like, I knew I hired you for a reason. You look familiar. I didn't realize
I
it.
know this dude. I know this guy.
You're Mr. May.
You're that guy's brother, right?
You got a massive schlong.
You're Mr. May, September 98, right?
Right? Yeah.
Yeah, I know you. I got your article.
Good dick on this guy.
This guy right here. That's why I hired a man of the year. He's got balls to the floor.
Balls to the floor.
Let me tell you, sir or madam, the gentleman I'm going to bring out to you, he's not cut.
Not
all right?
And I know that.
He knows what risks to take and what risks to not take. He scrubs the cheese right off of the head.
And apparently is really good at cutting down trees.
He's very thorough.
You see, we're bullying him. It's just so hard not to do it. I mean,
and that's what brings me back. It's like at that point in time, like I'm on his side, and if he's that,
Yeah, I am on his side,
and
yeah.
This is
I'm on
fully
his
to
side,
back
too.
up Ryan as far as the guy being kind of a puss about it. It's just like, dude, you got paid for pictures of your junk, dude.
Yeah, be
anybody
fucking
wants-
happy.
Yeah.
Like, you know, like, why do you
But
care what
maybe-
these podunks from your fucking job
You
say?
obviously shouldn't
Like, yo, you
care.
did that shit. Like, yeah, I bet there are some
Fucking
other
own
people who are
it,
like, yo, you had some good pictures. Nice. Like, you know, I mean, like, whatever. I don't know. Like, you obviously got in Playgirl magazine, you know? Like, why don't you just be satisfied with that? Yeah. You know, good job. Good job. Good for you. He had to be a good specimen, right? Had to be a good specimen.
he had to be, right?
If you got
they
a
don't just
Playgirl.
let anybody in.
I mean, they don't. They really don't. Many have tried and failed.
7 inches or less.
More.
That's the cutoff line. I know
More,
that.
by
That's right.
far,
That's right.
have failed than succeeded, I'm sure.
So here's to Daniel.
The Daniel Salter.
Yeah.
Yes. All
Hey, you
right.
got a Playgirl. Good for you.
Buddy, you know what? We're celebrating your Playgirl
Yeah.
appearance.
He should autograph every one of the centerfolds and give it to everybody.
Dude,
at work.
we should get him to autograph the auto blow.
Bam!
Yes. Mission.
Auto blow 2.
Brought to you by
Auto blow 2.
Playgirl.
And Nevermore Designs.
Sponsored by Mr. May 98. He's the guy that came before that ginger, apparently.
But you know, at the same time, though, the
According to
guy.
the article in my mind.
How long do you pay for something now? You pay for something your whole fucking life.
Right, dude?
Like,
It's just like fucking
All right.
DLC. DLC is bullshit.
What?
God.
I don't know what that is.
Here's the
don't know what
conversation.
deal is.
Downloadable content.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Yes, agreed. If I buy a
It's
video
just
game,
bullshit. It's like you used to be able to buy a whole game, and now they're like, we're gonna here's a game, and you can buy other endings and some other characters
what if they-
that
hold
they
on.
advertise as being in the
what if they-
fucking game.
Hold on. Hold on.
Yeah.
What if they actually make new content and they say, you know what?
Make a new game.
I'm right with you in saying don't make half
No,
a game.
but they don't
and
need
send
to
you
because
the
that's
other
why they
half.
made the platform. They made a
Dave, I want to
platform.
write a novel with no ending, and
But
you
no,
can buy all the
I have
different
a
endings to
problem
my
with
novel.
that. But if you were to see
Yeah, I
the
like
novel,
it.
and you want me to buy the
there
I think it's fun.
Or an extra
Not
chapter.
a sequel. They're
An
not
extra
a
chapter. An extra chapter.
Okay, yeah,
It's
an
an
extra
extension of
chapter
it.
is
An
a
extra
little
chapter.
fucking-
You don't. No one's forcing you to buy it.
It's like a side story, man. That's
But
what the
they're
DLC is.
roping
There are
you
certain
If it's
games
half
out
a
there
book, I'm
that
with
tell
ya.
you a full story, and then afterwards they're like, "Oh yeah, by the way, here's some cool side shit."
Yeah, but sometimes
That's
the
fine.
shit is like art.
No,
The shit's like already on the disc, and you have to pay the money to get it off.
dude.
Well, that's
that's bullshit.
That's
bullshit.
That's just
That's
like,
Jennifer
nonsense.
Lawrence nudes up in the
Yeah,
cloud. That's
yeah,
what that is.
That's Mr. May, 1998.
Well, they do the DLC on purpose because they'll give you 4 maps and they'll say, "Oh, wait till December. We have 4 more maps out," and then you can buy a season pass for $60 when I already paid $60 for the game. So I'm spending $120.
That's not what I'm talking
half
about.
the amount of the console.
Yeah, but how much
I'm
you
talking
how
about
much you
Half-Life
talking?
2
What's the
episode
total
2.
amount?
Oh, that's
Yeah, what is the total amount? What's the total
When
amount?
they get to
DLC.
That'll pay me.
Well, I mean, like,
When
dude,
are they,
There you
when
go.
are they gonna finish it?
But
Some
yo, I
DLC
go on
is all
Steam though, and it's like
insane.
they're like sometimes you go on Steam and they have like sales, and you can get like those add-on
well,
games
that's
for like
all.
$2
no,
or some
sale.
shit.
Yeah,
You know?
but
Yeah,
But
but
those
some
$2
DLC
add-ons
is
Can I
fucking
get bumped in?
insanely
Yeah, hold on.
Pushing
Scott
there.
Burton's getting bumped in.
I gotta inject here. So how much did you pay for a game like this? $30?
60.
No, like
60.
60.
$60.
In the grand scheme of things, that's not a lot of money for what you're getting. You know how many people are working on these games?
Yeah,
Like
but
hundreds of people.
Oh yeah.
Spending
Yeah.
lots
the game,
of money.
The game will
and
make
it's
$1
an
million
amazing
though.
game.
Like the last Black Ops made like $1 billion or something. Even Grand Theft Auto made like $1 billion before, when it first came out.
Yeah.
And then now they got Lindsay Lohan suing for, the
boo.
rights to say one of the characters looks like her. So
Yeah.
they're suing for it. Who knows
Why?
if she's
Because
gonna
there's
go
crack
through.
whores in that game?
And
Yeah,
Botox
exactly.
in her
That's
fucking
weird.
face that she
Well,
destroyed.
she said it took her likeness, so they're suing. She's suing
Oh,
for that.
bullshit. Man.
Bullshit what?
There's plenty of little.
Bullshit with that whole Lindsay Lohan.
There's
What
plenty
about
of
it?
16-year-old girls that are cracked out on meth that apparently she should be able to sue for stealing her likeness too. That's all.
They've stolen so many likenesses in
win.
those games, though. I mean, that's kind of like goes with the like I mean, like they don't do direct story, but they rob movies and popular culture in those games. They just put characters in that are, and a story in.
I feel like Ellen Page did have a problem with something.
Beyond?
Oh, yeah.
No.
Hold
on, one at a time.
Vice
One at a
City.
time.
Had to be Last of
Hold
Us
on, go
because
ahead.
Dude, she was identical.
Yes, she was.
I remember the first time I
Yes, she
saw that,
was.
I'm like, is it supposed to be that chick or
Yep.
Dude,
what
it's
the
just some
fuck's up with
software
that?
developers got a hard on for Ellen Page, that's all.
Yep.
She got
Well,
paid
then
to
she
be
should
on
be
that
suing that specific.
No, yeah, she did get paid to be on that
If
game.
she got paid, if you got
She
paid,
went
No, she got paid, yeah.
After the word.
After-
No,
That
no.
was a creepy
She
game.
did like a commercial for it,
It
I
was
think.
very intriguing.
Yeah.
Did she
Get
turn
into
around
that.
and sued?
I thought she sued him.
She sued?
I thought she
I
sued him.
didn't think she
No,
did.
yeah, this was a likeness for a
Ellen
game that she
Page?
did not
No.
agree to.
Oh, I don't know.
Yeah,
No, there was
yeah,
a
yeah.
game
I
that
thought
she was
got
in,
paid for the Last
and
of
she
Us.
did the commercial for it. Like she got,
Yeah, she
I
was,
think
like,
she got
in
paid
that
for it.
game.
Yeah,
Yeah,
she
yeah.
was in
No,
that.
this was another one that just stole her likeness.
So she's
Huh.
gonna sue any crack whore that looks like her? I mean,
No, we're not talking about Lindsay
Crack
Lohan.
whore.
We're talking about Ellen Page now.
oh, we're talking about
Yes.
Ellen Page?
Yeah.
I thought we
The
still-
charming
Oh,
Canadian
I thought we were
lesbian.
still on the
It's like, I thought
She's the
some
girl
things were
next
still
door.
south.
We moved on from the
Talking about
mean
Juno.
girl to
Juno.
Juno.
Yeah, exactly.
Come on
I
now.
got you. I got you.
Juno's cool.
All right, we should
Yeah,
just
yeah,
stop.
she
We
got
should
pregnant
just
when she was
stop.
16, but whatever.
I'm calling a
It's Michael
timeout.
Sarah's baby, though.
Let's go. Next.
Flag
And
on the
that's,
play.
that's right where the movie lost reality. Someone like Michael
Let's move it
Cera's
on. We're getting into chick flick territory here.
I don't know how everybody else would react to
Control
this,
the-
All right.
but 40-year-old Kenneth Desormes.
What? No, come on. What?
Wait, I have a question.
Yeah.
How long before the Skyping happened?
We're 10 minutes before the Skype.
All right.
10 minutes each.
Can I propose an alternative topic?
Yes, please.
Can we
Can I
talk
be
about
while you're
what
doing it?
happened in Pennsylvania since
That's a good lead up, yeah.
Yeah, the Eric
Yes,
Frayne thing. Yeah.
I mean, we didn't
all right.
put that clip on our
Yeah.
clips. We
Well,
put it differently.
what got me interested in what Joseph is doing with Politically Exhausted was that this video got forwarded to me, and it was him doing a report on the Eric Frayne thing in Pennsylvania. And basically what had happened was
My
this
blood
guy...
sugar's low. I'm not being a dick.
Okay, no problem.
Well, because I'm this one that said bring it up, and then I'm like,
Thanks, Sarah. Thanks a shitload.
Hey, guys, you should talk about this thing while I'm not here later.
Way to be involved in this.
All right, so whatever. This is the
controversy-
dude who shot up the fucking state troopers.
Yeah, the controversy about it was, what I've gathered, and I might be wrong,
They
is
militarized
that
the
they militarized the
county.
whole thing. They basically martial law took over an entire town. Tom Dente, who's on the show from time to time from the band Powwow, he lives in the town where this happened, and he was like, dude. He goes, there are SWAT teams outside every day. There are helicopters in the sky every single day and every single night. Jesus. And he was like, and it is such fucking, he goes, you have no idea how they're treating the people who actually live here. And that was what the fucking concern was, is, you know, you have people, like if you go on YouTube, there are people who are just trying to get to the store, who like live locally.
That's
and they're getting like bullied and like forced to go back home and stay in their houses and shit. And this went on for 8 fucking weeks.
8 weeks.
2 months.
And eventually they found Eric Frayne in an airplane hangar. And it was like one of the questions about this whole thing was, didn't anybody think to check the surrounding buildings that were empty? This guy, because he was like clean shaven and like he wasn't out in the woods where they were fucking looking.
Yeah,
so
they were too focused on ruining the you average person's fucking lives.
and they spent $1.4 million a week.
That's what
to
it
keep
comes
doing to
That's
continue
why.
this.
What were they doing? The cost of
They were militarizing a small town and setting an example. That's all. Setting a precedent.
Bullied, fucking like it's like the fucking
You know?
empire, man, fucking coming down.
Okay, we're gonna spend this money. We're gonna find this guy. We're gonna lock down the town.
Yeah.
We're gonna get it done, and they got it done.
We're gonna get a decent idea as to where this guy is, and then we're gonna spend millions of dollars fucking with everybody
but
else.
if I lived in that town,
But that's the catch-22. That's the bitch about it. They did get it done. They did.
They
find
didn't
it.
get it done.
Yeah,
They
did.
fucking completely fucked it up because the guy was in an abandoned building the whole fucking time while they were combing the woods for 8 weeks.
Well,
so they basically took a whole fucking town under siege and kind of did jack shit the whole fucking
So
time.
where's the compensation for these town folks? Are they getting anything from it, or is it like, oh, sorry, we ruined your lives?
Well, hopefully the
2
cops
months.
are leaving. You know, according to my buddy Tom, he just said it was really, really fucking bad. And, you know, at first it was one thing. He goes, then a few weeks go by, and you're like, all right, like, we're not allowed to leave our own property at this point. Like what? At this point, I think it got to the point where people were like,
they
yo,
were
I'll
saying
take...
that like the small businesses were getting like a third of the business they normally do because people are scared to leave their houses.
Yeah, I bet.
And that all the SWAT team people and police officers and shit that are staying in the town won't even buy from the local businesses. They're asking for people to donate energy drinks and shit to them. It's like you're fucking like bankrupting these people and you're asking for donations.
Yeah, that's bullshit.
It's called conquering.
Yeah. Yeah, and that's what my question is.
It's a common practice.
In the end, if the whole thing is just another bullshit false flag, you know, where they inflate something just for the fucking sake of.
They'll always remember it, but they'll always remember it, won't they?
I got a piss. I'm waiting to
I
keep going
got
with
an
this.
argument with a woman online who was like, "Oh, please, this is all
you're
just
gonna break the
conspiracy
seal?
theory. Why wouldn't you feel safer
Oh,
if
okay.
surrounded by tons of cops if there's murder on the loose?"
Oh, yeah,
And I'm like,
sure.
Well, have you watched the news lately? Because usually when you're surrounded by a ton of cops, it doesn't fucking end well for you.
Yeah.
Yes.
Like pretty much ever lately. So no, I don't feel safer with SWAT teams and fucking.
no.
Oh, no,
I would
not at
rather
all.
I'd rather take my chances with one killer than like up through 200 potential killers that are armed and angry all the time.
Trigger happy.
Right?
Yeah, right?
What one actual threat versus 200 people that are licensed because they
kill,
can control their ability to be a
fuck,
threat.
I'll take my chances with the serial killer,
Yeah,
please.
thank you very much.
Yeah, at least I have a better opportunity to
Better
defend,
odds.
to defend myself.
Yeah.
Without a fucking SWAT team fucking with fucking M16.
Too many loser cops are getting military stuff given to them.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
tanks.
Yeah, that's
They
just
gotta
it.
take their toys.
Most
new toys. New toys. That's it.
Yeah, most not
That's
all.
the problem.
Yeah,
Is that the funding
use
just
one
for
fucking-
that.
Use a weapon. Here you go. Shoot it off. See what happens.
Not all cops, but most cops become cops initially because of that
You want a
fucking
pack of
power
peace.
trip.
You want a
That
pack of
fucking
peace.
authoritarian mindset that they get. And then
Well, they want
the government's just
validation,
like, oh
too, a
yeah,
lot
here
of
guys,
times.
have some rocket launchers and tear gas.
Most of them are the losers in high school.
school.
Yeah.
Yep.
They were like the guys on the bench in the football team. They were good enough to get on the football team, but not good enough to get on the field.
Not good enough to get into the Marines.
Yeah. It's like, oh no, they weren't the Marines. They had to go into the Army because they didn't have what it took.
That's what happened to one
Well,
of my
it
friends in
doesn't
high
matter
school.
now because
He
you
was
know.
a short guy and he became a police officer because
Little man's
he
disease.
kept on getting bullied in school, man, because he was short. Now he's a.
Now he wears mirrors, glasses.
Now he's a police officer.
Well, that's
actually
what
in Ocean
I didn't like,
Township.
you know.
Oh, goody.
Yeah, he's in
I'll
Ocean
be sure
Township.
to avoid that on the ride home.
if he
I'm
gets
sorry,
pulled
they're
over-
just
if he gets
dudes in
pulled
an
over by a
outfit. Like,
midget-
you're still a
midget
man,
cop,
you know? You're
tell
still a
him I said
person.
hello.
Like, you're still a man. You're
Oh,
still
the
a
midget
person.
cop.
You know
Oh,
what I
who's
mean?
that?
Like, you're pulling me over. You have lights, and you have the ability to distract my attention, but you're a dude in an outfit. You know what I mean? Like,
You're wearing a costume.
yeah, you're
Congratulations.
just another man, and that's how I view you.
The
And
only-
if you're unreasonable towards me, I'm not going to cooperate with you.
The only
you know?
difference
Like,
between you and me is the fact that there's some high.
nowadays, I won't yell and scream. You know, I'll be quiet.
I've been in situations like that.
Oh, no,
I've
so
told,
have I.
I've told
Yeah.
cops. I personally told cops.
Oh no, yeah, you
to
know.
Take their gun off. Their
Hey,
guns,
should I
like,
call my
let's
lawyer?
do this.
Yeah, no,
You know,
should
I
I
mean,
call my
I'm a
lawyer?
big
You know.
guy, but still, I know I'm probably, I'm a threat to these, normal-sized cops. But
Yeah.
still, like,
Normal size.
normal-sized cops.
There's some mini
No,
cops.
yeah.
You were not normal sized.
No,
It was Warwick Davis.
But I've told
Pull over.
I've told
He's
big
the
cops,
anti-Warwick.
If they're rude to me, I'm not gonna just let it slide. I'm gonna talk back.
Yeah.
And I tell them like you're hiding behind that fucking shield.
I used to do
and
that,
some
and I
people
found
are
a more
pissed off.
clever way to do it.
Some people are pissed
so
off.
I throughout the
Yeah.
times, but still.
You just,
Some
you
people
know,
are pissed off at the way that people are
say
reacting
what you have
to
to
a lot
say,
of
but
this.
don't get emotional about it. You know.
People are reacting to a lot of the abuse of power because, like, people are pissed off. Like, oh well, people are antagonizing the police now. It's like, yeah, well, that's kind of because the police have been antagonizing
Exactly. I
people
don't
for a
know.
long
Yeah.
time
Blame
unchecked.
It's reciprocal.
And it's like now you're being checked like the rest of us.
You know what the big, change
People are
is?
checking you.
The
Yeah.
big change now is everybody's got a cell phone on them and they can record all this stuff, so they can.
Yeah.
And they're passing it around.
Maybe it was always
And
happening.
I've seen
Exactly, but now
videos.
we
No,
can
yeah,
see it.
it's happened. It's
Yes.
happened. It's
I've
just
seen videos
happening.
of that, and it's
Dude,
like-
there are more
now
people.
we can
Towns
see
are
it,
getting
though.
bigger.
Yes.
It's just happening on a grander scale, but it's been happening for a
For a long
long
time.
time.
Yeah,
And now anything and everything can get
It's not that
sensationalized.
it's not that
Anything
things
that
have
you
changed.
can,
It's not that
anything
police
can
have
get
changed.
recorded and
That's
put
what
onto
it
the
is.
fucking
Yeah, I know, like,
And be blown out
Police
of
state,
proportion.
like,
You know,
police
anything-
officers
anything-
weren't getting
anything's
tanks all the time.
Yeah,
That's
tanks.
not
and-
something that's always
No,
been
but that's
happening.
because the numbers have gone up. You know what I mean? Like
well,
a
that's the
couple,
excuse.
a
That's
couple
a
of cops
budgetary.
back in the day, back in small town America, back in the day, a couple of cops with some shotguns was enough to secure a town.
Yeah, but now you get
know what I
towns that
mean?
only have a few thousand people with
No,
a
I
tank
don't
and an
agree with
armored
it. I don't
car.
agree with it.
Yeah,
I'm
that's
not
just
trying to
Who
say I
just said
agree with
so-
it.
said what?
No, I was gonna say what time with the Skype.
We got another minute. before
But
the Skype
I'm
ends.
just saying I don't agree with it. I'm not saying I agree with it at all.
It's their
I'm just saying
justification.
no. That's the justification, and it's honestly a really good perspective when you're lobbying people and when you own politicians.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
an extremely good perspective.
Yep.
It's a winner.
It's
It's
a
a game
financial
winner, dude.
winner.
I mean, like,
That's it
and
right
people
there.
need to understand that. You know, I mean, the only way you can stop that is by not being afraid to live in your neighborhood.
Well, we're gonna
You
get
know?
we're gonna get Joseph Lemieux's opinion on this right now because I'm gonna Skype the guy in.
Is the air on?
The air is on.
That's not good for microphones.
No, these microphones will pick that up.
These are fine.
All right, so we got the Skype going.
Anybody
It
out there that
is
hears air
on
conditioning
its
going? That's
way.
because we're
Give me
America.
1 second here.
Look, yeah.
Damn right. We got air like that.
COD is an infinite version
Throw
of
it
DLC.
away.
No fucking innovations.
Let's do it on the
Thank you,
ground.
Nice. Thank you, Joe. Yes.
Completely agree with you, sir.
Yep.
All right, here we go.
There we go.
Hey, there he is.
What's up?
Hey, what's up, brother?
Hey.
Uh-oh.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, EG, up.
Uh-oh.
If my camera blows up at any point, I've had the most trouble with it tonight, oddly enough, than any other night to get it working. So if it stops working, I still got audio.
That's okay.
But,
Okay.
We're used to this type of thing, man. We always have
Nice.
fucking problems
Yeah.
with everything we die.
Worst case
Nothing
scenario,
new.
if it freezes with your face, we'll just say it was a still and it's fine.
Indeed.
Just go with it.
Welcome to Awesome Talk, brother.
Yeah, man, welcome.
Thanks for coming on.
Yeah, Clanky.
Hey, thanks for
clank
having
it.
me on, guys. I definitely appreciate
Absolutely.
it.
I'm saying your name right, Joseph Lemieux, right?
Yeah, you first person that usually gets it right. The last name always gets people going. They always say Lemieux or something else. I don't know.
Lemieux.
Well, I do have a degree in it.
Are you a French Canadian?
Yes.
I'm a hockey. Anyone who follows hockey knows it's Lemieux.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna say,
I know it's Lemieux.
I saw that last name
I
and
know
I was
it's
like, wait,
Lemieux.
he's one of the Philadelphia Flyers, isn't he?
Yeah, Lemieux.
My mother is also French Canadian.
Be nice. I'd have a lot more money. But
Right.
So let me get your opinion on something, Joseph Lemieux.
Yeah,
Well,
go
wait.
ahead.
Shouldn't he tell people like who he is and what he does?
Sure,
First?
let's do that first.
He's doing it around the bar and whatnot.
Introduce yourself to the internet like you do.
I'm sorry,
on
I
a
just wanted
regular
to
basis.
pounce someone to get it. But yeah, tell people what you do about your show, all that stuff.
All right, guys. I'm Joseph Lemieux. What I do is I started this show by myself. It's called Politically Exhausted, and I see everything around the country, and my name really embodies everything that I am. I'm politically tired of what's going on in this country, and what really bothers me is no one's really talking about the real issues. We got, mainstream media touting the same bullshit day after day, and it's all biased towards the Republican and Democratic Party, which in reality is one party because they both support war.
Finally.
And I just want to talk about the things that actually do matter to people like me and you, the average day American. So I started this show.
Cool.
All right. Yeah,
Excellent.
thank you for that shit, man.
Local news. Oh yeah.
Well, we're gonna do an around the bar and introduce ourselves.
Yeah.
I am Rick.
I'm Dave.
Scott.
I'm Ryan.
I'm Andrew.
Heavy Metal John.
Woo. John.
Sarah.
And Mr. Giggy Ty, who you can't see.
He's there.
He's
He's
the
there.
voice from beyond the grave.
And welcome to Awesome Talk, man.
Yes, sir.
So
Awesome.
we were just getting into a discussion about what went on in Pennsylvania recently with Eric Frayne, and my number one question to you is first off, there's a lot of shady shit involving the reporting of that whole thing. There's a lot of it was excessive and expensive to conduct an 8-week search for this guy that ended up in an airplane hangar. And so the question is, let's say that there's some element of that of a false flag operation here. What is the payoff for them to conduct something like that?
The payoff in my mind is you got 1,000 people that includes federal agents and local officers and also officers from different agencies around the country. You got 1,000 people that now get to go home who thought this was a real exercise, and they get to go home with real world training on how to lock down anything that would resemble a guerrilla movement. So that in itself gives them a lot of advantage over the people. Now, is it a false flag? I'm not sure, but a lot of things are sketchy. What got me the most weirded out about it is that, all right, Eric Frayne, they kept saying he's this crazy survivalist. He knows what he's doing. That's the only reason he's got away with it for almost a month and a half. But the guy only made 33 miles in a month and a half. He's a pretty terrible survivalist. That's about a half mile a day.
Yeah.
And on top of that, they catch him. He's completely clean shaven. I haven't shaved in 3 days, and you can already tell there's I'm growing a bit of a beard. This guy's way older than me. Sure, he has more testosterone by just age-wise. And a month and a half, he comes with a trimmed beard, goatee, nothing on the side of his face at all. So to me, I'm like, what kind of sense does that make? The guy's shaving, he cares more about that than running from the police?
Maybe he's that hardcore of a survivalist. He just found like an armadillo and he shelled it.
No, he sat by a fountain and sharpened a rock and used it as a blade.
He got to the airport and he's like, you want what? Running from the police? Shaving? Going with shaving.
Well, you gotta have your priorities, you know.
I don't know a place to live, but I have my dignity.
I don't want to be another Kaczynski. Fuck that.
And what really shows that the reporting's terrible on it is not only that, but now this guy gets arrested, and all they can concentrate on is, did the police beat him up or something?
Yeah.
You know, oh, he's got a broken nose. And it's like, for somebody that's usually a cop killer, this guy got off easy. Escape from me, there's a video on the internet. There's this guy who was beat up so much that they put a mask, like the spit mask, you know, they put on criminals and shit. They put that on him. He goes into court. This guy's face is so swollen that his family's freaking out. You can't even recognize who he is. The FBI takes an investigation. They said nothing wrong happened. But, you know, that's what cops do to cop killers. And this guy barely got what they would think he deserved. And that's all everyone's concentrating about. There's more questions, and I think there's more things people should be concentrating about.
It validates what they did. It validates their measures. You know what I mean? Like, to apprehend him in front of the whole world on TV and bring him out and show that all of our intrusions were not for naught, you know, like they led to the final solution and everything worked out for the best. We got our man.
And is it odd enough that it stopped right before the elections? Like, this wasn't going past the election.
Damn.
And that's the point that I see him getting across, is the fact that, you know, this guy was an alleged cop killer, and if he only wound up with a broken nose, then it just sets the stage, quite literally. You know, if this guy was, like, truly a cop killer, in theory, you would expect him to be like missing a limb or something like that.
Yeah, that's
you know,
true.
because the retribution that would have been thrown at him if he were a legitimate cop killer. You know, allegedly.
Well, I'm sure he got stomped on a couple of times.
But I also think he wasn't beat up as much too, is because it was such a long search that when he did get caught, people would look at it. Like the guy who was caught in Rhode Island, it was like a day after. It's something that just gets swept under the rug.
Yeah, it's all going to be on camera. That's like, you know, I mean, that's why he wouldn't have been injured, is because it escapes the local at that point. It becomes a nationwide thing, and all eyes are on you, and you have to show that what you did is justified, and you know what I mean?
How is it justified because they found him?
Well, no,
like,
because
that doesn't even make it
because that's what they set out to do. That was the mission.
Like, you never see murder, like a dude that killed one guy get $1.4 million a week spent on him.
Yeah.
That's insane.
No, I know.
What I was thinking was
that amount of money could like make that entire town prosperous and like an education system. Like, that's crazy. There's no justification at all. Even if the dude killed like his entire family and was like running down the street jerking off on children's faces, it still wouldn't fucking end up being $1.4 million a week for 8 weeks.
Yeah.
So this is where it gets weird. There's a lot that I didn't include in my videos because you know, not everyone's gonna want to go into the totally conspiratorial section of it, but there's a lot of merit to it. For one, after talking to the people who actually lived there, what the police were doing was atrocious and ridiculous.
We have a buddy there.
Go ahead.
We have a friend from a band called Pow Wow,
who lives in the town where this was happening.
Oh, okay. It was the Barrett Township, right?
That's who got me directed to your video, because he was like, "Have you heard anything that's been going on in my town?" And I said, "No, I haven't heard anything." And then he sent me your video, and I was like, "Holy fucking shit! How the hell do I not know that this is going on? Like, this is insane. This isn't even that far from, like, we're in New Jersey. It's not even that fucking far away."
Yeah. Yeah, and that's like what got me into the story is I'm like, no one's covering this. Like Christopher Dorner, they burned this guy alive. No one covered that part of it really, but mainstream media, alternative media, everyone was covering the Christopher Dorner case. But this one, it's absolutely silent. Alternative media didn't cover it at all. Mainstream media is just the only thing they were covering was the press conferences. And it just, to me, went, there's something going on here. There must be. And lo and behold, there was.
They allowed the rednecks of Pennsylvania to take over a town with military weapons.
You know, I always said that...
Well, nobody was looking.
Yeah, let's get Jim Boss some tear gas. That'll end fine.
Like, you don't have to be a genius to notice that something is wrong with the way media covers things. But what are you drinking there, by the way? Is that a Guinness? I can't see it.
Bud Light.
Bud Light Platinum, son.
Clinky.
The best beer ever.
Clinky, my friend.
Gives you wings or something.
Cheers, everybody.
Cheers.
Cheers,
Thank you, sir. Clinky.
Indeed.
There you go.
When Occupy Wall Street happened, like when Occupy Wall Street really happened,
some beer too.
When there was like,
he was waiting it out.
There was like 10,000 people in Times Square, and you had cops.
Oh, he was too.
Really reel it in. We had cops beating people in the street in Times Square. There's like 10,000 people out there. And I remember on one hand I got the TV playing, and I have the news on, and on the other hand I have my computer on, and I'm watching a Ustream feed. And on the Ustream feed, you're watching cops beating the shit out of people left and right in New York, which is not even far from here. And on the TV, you have Kim Kardashian's divorce 24 hours a day.
Yeah. See, Occupy Wall Street, it's just absolutely ridiculous. The whole thing, the New York police system is so corrupt is because after 9/11 they got all that anti-terror money.
Yeah.
So corruption in general based off money, all that money dumped into the New York police is going to make them that corrupt. But Occupy Wall Street was ridiculous. And if you guys watched the NYPD hashtag that ended up going out, and it was trying to boost the image of the NYPD, and ended out having everyone show pictures of the NYPD beating the shit out of people.
Yeah.
And that's really what they do. The most corrupt stories out of police organizations in this country, I personally believe, come right out of New York City.
Sure. It used to be Los Angeles.
Yes, yeah, the LAPD is pretty bad because they still have the same command staff they had with after the Rodney King.
Yeah.
That's why Christopher Dorner did his whole thing. You know, it's that corrupt over there. They were shooting people that were in different trucks that the cops just thought it was Christopher Dorner, like old ladies giving out newspapers, and they were blasting the cars without even checking.
Talk about Christopher Dorner. Talk about that.
Christopher, I never really looked into the story as much as I should have, but from what I do know, is Christopher Dorner, right? Okay. This guy, he goes and kills the police command staff's daughter and a few other people. Then he's on the run from the police. They get so scared of this guy that a few officers, like I said, there was these two women delivering newspapers in a truck model that wasn't the same truck model, wasn't even the same color. And the cops just got out and started gunning the truck down. Jesus. Luckily, they didn't kill anybody. They were that bad of shots. But they dumped this truck full of shots. So these people sued. They won the case. But then it goes to, they finally find Christopher Dorner, and they burn this guy alive. There is radio communications you can find on YouTube, anywhere else you want, and you got to look it up. It's found up, I placed the charge where you wanted it to, and they burned this guy alive out of the cabin he was in. So you got to think how devious and fucked up of a crime that is. They burned a guy alive. He was technically a suspect. He's never went to trial. He's not guilty. Innocent until proven guilty, and they burned him alive.
Jesus.
So, you know, they're not the judge, jury, and executioner. They're the peacekeepers they're supposed to be, but they turned into law enforcers, and now they enforce unjust laws.
Well, we were
Go ahead.
Yeah,
Do you find that to be, like, reading all of it, do you find that to be more of an isolated incident, or do you think that is extremely widespread? Like, I mean, like, you know, I mean, I know it's widespread, but I mean, like, how widespread do you think it really is? Do you think it's infected everywhere, or is it on the rise?
I think the isolated incident aspect of it, it's just a PR term to not scare people into thinking, oh shit, that can happen where I live.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? They're like, oh, it's isolated halfway across the country from me, I'm good. But in reality, police corruption is across the board. Every story you'll see, it's across the country. And what happened in Pennsylvania just shows to you that it can happen anywhere. Just where I live, near Boston, the Boston bombing, they locked down an entire city looking for this suspected terrorist. That's the word, suspected. And that lockdown showed to be useless, and the only thing that actually found the guy was lifting the lockdown, and a normal person walked out their house, and they went, oh shit, this guy's in my boat. You know, like, these tactics don't work. The police state is absolutely insane in this country, and I think isolated in every sense, it's always a PR term, because it's happening everywhere. The corruption is everywhere. We just had a story in Florida where 40 officers signed a huge petition against their police chief because he was that corrupt. We had whistleblowers in the police system. It's surprising.
Oh, nice.
I always say too that whenever I see a good or a nice police story in the news, which is rare, but when I do see it, I do celebrate it.
It's not that rare.
You know?
I see a couple. Yeah.
Absolutely. A police officer, in my take, is just like any other job. You're gonna have decent people that want to do it for the right reasons, but unfortunately, it's gonna be overshadowed by the fuck ton of imbeciles that are doing it for the wrong reasons.
But are they imbeciles, or are they people who are being trained differently now?
Yeah.
They are being trained differently, and I think that's where it used to be a peace officer. You know what I mean? They used to celebrate police as like the pinnacle of your community.
Yeah.
These were the people you looked up to as a little child, and you're like, this guy makes everything look awesome because, you know, he's the embodiment of what morale, being moral is all about, and just being general a good person. And it's turned in from a peace officer to keep the peace to a law enforcer, where it doesn't matter what the law is, you're going to enforce it. And now the training stopped being peace orientated and more on conviction based.
Yeah, I agree with that. Completely.
Yeah, the zero tolerance thing in New York City, though, is kind of interesting. You know, arresting window washers and all, under the assumption that it'll reduce serious crime. You could argue, in the last several years, serious crime has reduced.
It is true.
In New York City.
Serious crime, though, in general, has dropped dramatically across the board. It's just, as we're going on, gun ownership has gone up. Violent crime has completely gone down. You can go on the FBI statistics. It'll show you violent crime has dropped dramatically, not just this decades, but the past decades. And, you know, with that trend going on, and then they're claiming they need all these weapons and these tanks in the communities, I think it's completely opposite. It's more to protect the political elite rather than the citizens, because they're not needed.
The military gets rid of their fancy toys, take a
Exactly,
right off.
and somebody pay, I think that's more of it. Is somebody pays for it. I think it's just
Follow
our
the money.
economy is sucked. You know, like we've sucked it dry. There's really not too much more we can do with this. But what we can do is, like, even if we can't. Okay, so people aren't is in love. Like, I mean, when there was 9/11, people were in love with the idea of war. A lot of people in this country were in love with the idea of war. So it was easier to sell sending weapons overseas. It's not so easy anymore. Not a lot of people are in love with it.
But we still do it.
We still do it, but we don't do it at the same numbers.
Almost every terrorist
So that's
group uses American weapons.
That's not the point, though. I'm not. Listen, I'm not trying to devalue that. That's not the point. The point I'm saying is that the numbers have been cut.
Yeah.
From when we launched to where we are, the numbers have been cut.
But
what better way to keep selling
have
those
they been
weapons?
cut, or is it just they haven't been? You can't see them anymore. You know.
Well, they can't be as brazen because people aren't calling for it right now.
Yeah,
they can't
yeah.
be as brazen. They can't just storm into countries and do whatever the fuck. They can do missions. They can set up camps. They can work perimeters. But that's what I'm saying. So if your weapons budget gets cut in half because you don't need it all, what better way to sell off the overstock than to start shit in your own country and militarize police?
You're talking. Well, look at Benghazi too. Benghazi was completely covered up because they're selling weapons and shit behind the scenes. So if you look at Benghazi and you really look into it, you find out that those same rebels that killed these people were the same ones that got the weapons from the U.S. And just like in Iraq right now, in Syria, these ISIS militants that became this huge army that they try and scare the shit out of people with beheading videos, these same people, there's proof that they're using American weapons and that we're supplying them.
It's from the first Gulf War.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
We gave it to them, and now we want them back.
Well, yeah,
Well,
I mean,
it's a cycle,
the whole thing,
It's
that, you know,
cycle,
it's
because
an ongoing thing. You know, I mean, most of the stuff that Saddam Hussein had, that he was developing with, that he was working with, was all the shit that he got from us back in the 80s and the early 90s. Like, we were the ones that put him into power. You know?
Yeah.
That's true.
But then when we're done using them, you know, we go, hey, we don't need you anymore. We're gonna execute you and take over your country.
Yeah, we're gonna hang you on YouTube.
What we did was completely illegal in every sense of the word. Like, it's mind blowing that we just can. Like, we're just
But
gonna
where is
fucking
the law that
That's
ever
what I
says the
love
law?
that. Did you
kill him
ever
and fucking take like what the fuck are we doing? Like claiming colonies? Like it's insane.
I feel like that's what this is.
We
I
already
feel like
know
this is
the claim has
colonization.
been laid like a long time ago. Like the hidden hands are there. You know, I mean, the hidden hands are all over the world. Like they're everywhere. You know, I mean, like they're there. Like,
I just feel like a lot of things that we see are
we have our hands in everything.
We see colonization is what we see. We just
Yeah.
don't call it America anymore. You're just taking over one region or the other.
We are the biggest imperialist around. I mean, you gotta look right from the country was started, right off the bat, through, you know, King George's rule, it was like an imperialist thing because he's like, all right, well, let's expand, build these colonies over here. And then as soon as we cut the ties, what did we do? We took over the entire West Coast. We genocided, you know, entire cultures.
Yeah.
And then when we were done with that, we're like, where do we go next? We fucked up South America. Well, we got all of that already. Where do we go next? You know, the imperialist attitude of the American government has been right there from the start, and it's continuing on to this day.
Well, that's just it. It's not called colonization anymore. Now we call it democratization.
Well, yeah, but that was the other thing too, is that they realize that they don't need. There's not currently a need to take over a region and say it's part of the United States anymore. There's only a need to take over the region.
Yeah.
So it's
All
not.
you have to do is suck its resources.
You don't
dry.
need
You don't
to
have to actually
you don't
do
even need to take it over. Exactly.
Yeah, we don't need to stick our flag in the ground anymore. That's just
No,
pointless.
Everything is based on checks and balances. Like if
Yeah.
one way of doing something is more cost effective, they're going to do it that way. If another way is more cost effective, depending on public opinion or how many people are backing
Well,
you
it's
up.
not just that.
They don't
I
give
mean,
a
it's
fuck
not
about
just
that.
about
Two
cost
things make the
effective.
most money in the world: being sick and war.
That's right.
Oh yeah.
the rich people
The
stay
pharmaceutical
rich.
companies are pretty ridiculous in themselves.
Yeah.
So the rich people have to stay rich, and the only way to do that is to keep making more war, more
The government
weapons,
doesn't want you
and
to
more
do illicit
fucking-
drugs. They want you to do corporate drugs.
Yeah,
That's
exactly.
right.
Yeah.
Hey, look, I always argued about Florida when I said, what's his name? Rick Scott down there. He wants to fucking drug test people to get their fucking welfare check, but he's got no problem with the pill farms that exist down there that sell opiates over the fucking counter. Even when he was asked about it explicitly, he said, "Oh, I don't see why this is a problem." Really? You fucking don't see why fucking opiates over the fucking counter are a fucking problem? But you're gonna fucking tell people they can't eat because of weed?
He owns shares in those pharmaceutical companies. That's
right.
why.
Yeah.
But I'm pretty sure Florida is like the biggest supplier across the country for those pharmaceutical drugs.
Yes.
Because they have those pill farms where you just walk. My back hurts. Hey, it's 400 pills oxycodone. Here you go.
Right.
And then you just go to 2 more. You got however many pills, 1,600. Then you go out the state and you make a lot of money off of
That's
them.
why so many sick people in pain and old people in pain and heroin addicts go down to fucking Florida. Because the
Yeah.
shit's right there, dude.
You don't have to worry about paying all that import-export bullshit.
Yeah. You know.
I mean, the fact of how medicinal marijuana has proved to be so effective in the forms they're starting to use it, like they got people's children, these parents like, hey, my kid has seizures so much in a day, like he literally cannot advance his life. He can't learn. We can't even have quality time because about every 5 seconds they have a seizure. So then they move to a state like Colorado or Washington and they give their kid medical marijuana and this kid stops having seizures. That's actual progress. Well, these companies are going, well, fuck your progress. We don't want to do that.
Yeah.
You should take our pills that don't work, you know? So there we go. My camera died.
Oh, shite.
Oh, crap.
It's all good. We still hear your beautiful voice. Swoon us further.
Great. I'm just going to leave it off then because it's not going to work.
Ah, shit.
But I just want to say,
I'll try it one more time for you guys.
Yeah,
but we'll
please.
keep going in the meantime.
But,
absolutely.
If not, that's an awesome still.
I got one.
Exactly. You love that shit.
I do. We love that shit.
But what I was gonna say is, but that's I've always said that one of the biggest things against legalization has to do with the fact that it's medicinal. And if you're not, there you
Drug
are.
companies can't patent it.
If they can't patent it, but they're learning how.
You can't patent nature.
GMOs have proved that companies
No,
can own
you
nature.
actually can definitely
Yeah. They
patent
can
nature.
own
People
nature.
own parts of the Lyme disease
That's exactly the
Well,
Lyme
no, you
disease
can't
bacteria.
own nature as it
Hold on,
stands, but nature as it stands won't exist much longer because they own nature version
Fuck GMOs
2.0.
for just a second, but you just said about the Lyme disease being owned. Who owns parts of Lyme disease? How does that work? Because that has to do with this.
In the 80s, they basically made it legal to patent living organisms, and then Lyme bacteria was discovered, and pharmaceutical companies and the military all jumped in to patent parts of the bacteria, and because that happened, it means that instead of what was happening earlier, which was medical communities sharing their information with each other to come up with the best treatment, instead, now that they're all patent holders, they hoard the information for themselves in order to get more money.
Capitalize. Yeah.
Exactly.
Well, I mean, look at Ebola. They own the patent on Ebola. If you look that up, they have the patent on Ebola. Like, what the fuck's going on with Ebola if you own the patent?
Right.
They say it's a research patent, but I don't really believe much of that.
Hey! I think if you catch Ebola, and I own the patent, I get to sue you. How dare you take my disease? Son of a bitch.
Disease.
Yeah, but I think they're making GMO marijuana, so that
They are. They're gonna make GMO
They
marijuana.
would own that then.
But I wanna
seeds.
get to the Ebola thing because you made a video about Ebola that we aired tonight, and I want to know what you think about that. What's going on in this country right now and what's coming, if anything's coming.
All right. Wait, I'm supposed to join in now?
Yeah, no, you're bumped in. Officially.
Oh, okay, all right. Bump in there.
Nice.
Ebola, yeah, it's like they keep calling it the Ebola crisis. Everyone's getting scared out of their head about it. And it's like, they only got a few thousand deaths in Africa. In reality, Africa is bigger than the American continent, and you can fit several United States in between it. And the way we make maps is, they don't really show how big Africa is.
Right.
But that's just a fun bit in there. But so they got a few thousand deaths in 3 countries, right? So now they scare everyone on the head, like being like, "Oh, this is the most contagious thing ever. It's a 90% kill rate. You're gonna die." And then one person gets it in the United States. Then they start going, "Well, he went through 2 flights. You're definitely gonna die." So they scare everybody to the point where logic goes out the window. Because when you're scared, your brain doesn't work in the same way it's supposed to. You go fight or flight. And when they got that response, they got the advantage. Because they make the problem, then they make you want a solution, which you do through being scared, and then they get their what they wanted as an objective. So they scare everybody, and now they're going, well, let's quarantine people. If you have Ebola, if you're suspected of getting it, this is important, suspected. You're not proven to have Ebola. They can quarantine you legally and keep you however long they really want. So it's like, how does that do for your rights? If they keep, oh, well, you're suspected. A doctor doesn't even have to prove it. They can detain you indefinitely. That's like the NDAA, which gives the government the right to detain you indefinitely without a trial. So that's pretty serious of an accusation if you cannot face your accuser in court, and they can hold you as long as they need to. And I think Ebola, scaring people with it, is really just an excuse to get to your rights.
And and they use that all the time, like the Patriot Act. Everybody said it was to find terrorists, and then you look at how many times the Patriot Act has been invoked to invade somebody's home, and it's something like the amount of times they've done it to go after drug dealers.
4,000%.
Yeah, it was like 4,000% was to go after petty drug dealers, and then like 2% was to go after suspected terrorists. And so really they took a law that they marketed it one way and used it another way.
The amount of raids that went up, it went up by 4,000%.
Yeah.
Like home raids.
Home raids, yeah.
Fucking
And look at no-knock raids in a sense, is like how fucked up they are.
They're insane.
Way back in the day, warrants used to be where they would have to inform the owner of the property that, hey, here's a warrant, this is what the warrant says, and this is exactly what we're looking for in what location in your property that it is. Now if they get a warrant, they can go in anywhere and take whatever they find and claim you for that, which is illegal. But they used the drug war to do it, and now they got no-knock raids where this dude just recently, it might have been in Florida, I'm not entirely sure on the state, but they no-knocked raided into his house at the middle of the night, and he blasted a cop, and then they're trying to charge him with murder. Then the autopsy comes out, come to find out the cop was shot in the back of the head, so it seems like one of his buddies accidentally shot him in the head. But if that comes out, what are they going to do? They're going to use the law that since the warrant's on him, well, anything that happens within that, he's criminally charged for it because the whole reason the warrant was there was because of him to begin with. So if it was a buddy cop that shot the guy in the head, he still gets charged for murder because he was the whole point they did that warrant to begin with.
He was the reason they were there.
Yeah.
Exactly.
If it weren't for him, that cop wouldn't have had to pull his gun on him and accidentally shoot his friend stupidly in the back of the fucking head.
Exactly. So no liability on the police, no matter what, no matter how it goes, whether he actually killed the guy or not. And he actually had the right to kill him. If there's people barging in your house at night, what are you gonna do? You're gonna defend your home and your family.
Go for the head.
You really got to chalk it up. You really got to chalk it up to Darwinism when they can actually legitimize the survival of the fittest being phased out in and of itself. Like that's at least the gist that I get from that is like you can actually make common sense out of I accidentally shot him in the back of the head and it's your fault. Like that's just that's almost genius how stupid it is.
Yeah. That's trying to admit that 4 equals 5 right there.
Somehow.
I swear there's an extra 1 in there somewhere.
Mm-hmm.
No. That's just old thinking.
Let me ask you something. In regards to producing your show, because you cover a lot of this stuff and you're really open about it, do you ever worry about who's watching or what might happen because you know the law can be manipulated in a certain way?
I think the law, no matter what, will always be manipulated in whatever favor they want because they make the laws. In terms of me being worried, I definitely believe my life could be in danger, but I'm not necessarily worried because I know those risks going into it. But what started me on this reality was not only the show, but before that, I was like, hey, I'm gonna run for office. We need something different, right? So I run for office, and then months later, all of a sudden, I have feds calling people I hang out with. So they knew who I hang out with, and they're asking them questions about me, like, oh, hey, we understand you have a friend in politics, and then my friends never answered. They hung up the phone, and I was like, hey, guys, next time somebody calls you like that, ask them who they are. You know, that's kind of important. So next time they called them, they asked who they were, and they were saying it was just some government agency, and they were like, oh, which one? We can't tell you that. So I'm sure the government's watching me. I'm sure I'm on a list. I mean, it's undoubtedly most of us are. You guys probably are too, but I might be looked into more than you. But
I know I am.
You know, we're all on the list.
You're just dangerous, brother.
Yeah.
But
I'm not on an important list, but I'm on one. Nobody actually gives a fuck about me, but I'm there. I'm definitely on the list.
So when you put something new out, man, do you? Because some of your videos now, man, they're pushing 10,000 views, man. Like, you get noticed, dude. Well, how does that motivate you?
It motivates me a lot, and not just because people watch my stuff, but because of my heart, I believe I'm doing the right thing. You know what I mean? I don't want kids because I don't want them to live in the world that I was born into or the one that's about to come.
Right.
But no matter what, to me, it doesn't matter if I want kids or not, and if I want them to live into it, somebody's going to have to, and I give a shit about that. You know, I want to see a future where people can live on and they don't have to be fearful of things like that. You know, life has always been very dangerous. To this day, it still is, and to think reality isn't, it's crazy. But whatever we can do to make it better, I will try for that. You know, I don't think anyone should have to live in fear where government, you know, could hurt them because they have a different opinion, or, you know, tyranny in general should exist. I don't believe in that, and that's why I fight for it.
Who influenced you? Because I watched your video about people changing their attitudes in order to change the world. And it kind of reminded me of those, like, Duncan Trussell, like, Joe Rogan type of videos. And I was wondering who you listened to who sort of influenced you to get to where you are.
You know, there was a lot, and it really came down to I was never born into completely believing into the system, so I was always skeptical. But, you know, there's people like Ben Swan, Jesse Ventura. I don't really watch him anymore, but, you know, people who got me started. And then Alex Jones, oddly enough, I don't watch this guy, but I did for a little bit.
Me too,
you know, he's really good at scaring the shit out of you.
Sure.
So it kind of started out as an own self-interest for me, where I was like, I gotta stop shit because I'm gonna die. But you know, it's after that, you know, I really looked into stuff, and I was like, no, it's not about me. There's something bigger that's going on, and regardless, I know I have skills and abilities that I can apply to this, and I should. You know, I gotta make things better because it's what I gotta do.
What was the tipping point for you? Like, what happened that made you go, okay, fuck this, I'm gonna start doing this?
The tipping point was, I was in high school. You know, like I said, I never really believed in the system, but I was hanging out with the wrong kids, I should say. And they would get busted by the cops and get their rights, you know, taken away. And I was like, you know, how do I protect myself against this? So then I looked up what rights are, and I started looking into the founding fathers, and then I started realizing that it's not just the police; it goes higher than that. And then just keep reading on, and then I just realized that things can go into a absolute horrible prerogative and go in a certain direction that I don't think anyone could ever enjoy. And then it just spawned on me that if somebody's got to do something, and if I have to step up to the plate, then I got to step up to the plate. It doesn't really. Somebody's got to do it. So.
Cool. Well put. Go ahead. Bump it.
I like to consider myself open-minded, and I always like to just explore new ideas and shit. And there's like this label that goes around, especially politically. You know what I mean? Like I just it's not like I buy everything that comes up the pipe, but I just like to read it. You know what I mean? I like to think about it a little bit. And there's this term that always comes up: conspiracy theorist. You know what I mean? And I myself personally hate that term. I dislike it. You know what I mean? I dislike it. I think it's demeaning. I think it's a label that makes things convenient to explain for a bunch of people who just don't want to think. You know what I mean?
No, it's just a way of dumbing down the
Exactly.
issue.
But no, I'm not
Just
saying
like-
that everything is right. That's not, you know what I mean? Like, I'm not trying to, like, validate, like, you know what I mean? It's
like
not
what they
that.
did to the word socialist.
But it's just like there are so many. I think that has become a stigma. You know what I mean? Like, I think that term enables a lot of people who are smart enough. They're on the cusp, you know? Like, if they thought a little harder, they could see a couple more things, make a couple more educated decisions. But terms like that, you know? Like when the Reds get, you know, he said communist. You know what I mean? People don't even fucking know what a communist is. If they did, they'd realize that they're communists, basically. You know what I mean? Like, they're capitalist communists. You know what I mean? But, like, I mean, they don't understand these things. And now the new one, I think, is conspiracy theorists. It's anybody who asks questions and thinks too much and brings up things that, well, I didn't see that on the regular news. I mean, who cares? You know, like I don't like that term. You know what I mean? I think it dummies down, like Sarah said, a lot of just people who are just trying to bring things up. It's not that they believe every conspiracy that comes up the pipe. It's just that they want to call attention to things that people might have overlooked.
The term was
And what they do, it's a very demonizing term, and you're right,
It
it
is.
is.
Yeah.
But what they use it for is not only that they conspiracy theorists in general, that they try and make it seem like it's crazy people, but they try and demonize it, questioning, like you brought up. And that's just like the term truther for 9/11. Those truthers. It's like, these are people that saw buildings get hit with planes and just disintegrate, and there was nothing left of them. You're telling me some office fires did it, and then there was a third building, Building 7, that wasn't hit with any plane whatsoever, and it just fell down, free fall. So, conspiracy theorist is a ridiculous term, and it's definitely used to demonize people, but that's what they want. They want to demonize and question things, because you don't necessarily have to be a 9/11 truther or, all these other things, but as long as you question something, you're fucking crazy.
Exactly. That's my point. It's like, because there are a lot of people who join those camps, you know, like, there are a lot of people who get emotional about it. They get, like, really, you know, like, and they do. But there are just as many, even more so, I think, actually, people who just want to, look deeper into things.
Bump me in.
You know?
What it comes down to is this. I mean, you have, in football terms, you have someone that's a diehard Giants fan. Then you have someone that just likes football and they think the Giants are having a good year.
Yeah.
You know, and when you just want to ask a few questions,
and then there are people who
want
don't.
You want to ask a few questions about 9/11. All of a sudden, you get pushed into that camp. When no, you don't. There's some extremists out there that are just completely wrong. But there's definitely some questions that need some answering.
Yeah,
Don't clump me in with the extremists.
Yeah, I just want to, but that's the thing. It's
you have
like,
Islamists, and then you have Islamic extremists.
That's why there are a lot of people who are who run a lot of conspiracy websites who drive me crazy because it's like sometimes it's just like like it demeans it a little bit.
Well, that's like
know?
Alex Jones, Joseph. Like, I've watched Alex Jones for a while too, and I got to a point with
he
him
drives
where I was
me
like,
crazy,
this guy's.
dude.
It's not that he's full of shit, but like he's kind of full of shit. Like, and he's sort of giving me a bad name. Like, I kind of thank him for getting me into certain things, but then it's like, dude,
but he has an agenda.
Trying to claim that Michelle Obama is making the devil sign because she's sitting with her hand laying a certain way is sort of making you look like a lunatic, dude. You have to pick and choose your battles a little.
Well, that's his job. He's a disinformation.
Exactly. He has an agenda.
Disinformation,
He has an agenda.
I think he has a total credible sense in like where he scares the fuck out of you into something where you're like, now I should probably pay attention. But then once you come to that point, you should be at the point where like, I'm paying attention, but not to you anymore. You know?
Do you feel that he serves a purpose though?
I definitely think he serves a purpose. You know, my brother always tries to pull the devil's advocate and things, and he's like, maybe we need a crazy guy and things, you know what I mean? To like bring up some points no one else would. And I'm like, you're probably right. Maybe we do need Alex Jones. Maybe he's the guy who scares the fuck out of everybody, so they just start to question things to begin with, And then after that, they move on to other things that maybe,
relax and go
empower
out.
them.
The world's not gonna blow up today. Everything will be alright.
Someone like
The economy's gonna be gone in a day. Run!
Someone like Alex Jones works as a decent filter for those of us that are able to keep track of it, and the fact that he can pull in people that maybe haven't thought that way, that are smart enough to get to a certain point and go, oh, he's fucking batshit crazy. He's got some good points, but he's
Yeah, but you know what turned me
batshit.
off to him? What turned me off to him was all the shit he sells on his fucking website. For somebody who's
You need to buy this life water.
Yeah, exactly.
yeah,
like
yeah.
for somebody who screams that like the dollar isn't gonna be worth anything tomorrow.
He sure does
Dude,
want a lot
you
of
sure want a
dollars.
whole lot of fucking dollars,
He wants
dude.
a bunch of dollars.
And that kind of
Like,
turned me off.
dollars are pointless, so give them all to me.
But then again, like I said, when I got started in a lot of shit, he provided a place where like it was like this hub where all the crazy shit in the world came together, and you realized it wasn't crazy because it was shit that was really happening.
But that's what I'm saying too, though. In the end, it all comes down to common sense, though.
Yeah,
you know what
exactly.
I mean? Like you got to know when you're being sold something.
It's a good starting point for you. You know?
Like I said, I think it wakes people up really.
Like I have that, you know what? Like there's like what my philosophy on AA. You know, I don't agree with it. I don't like the program. I've gone through it. You know what I mean? Like I don't like the program. I don't agree with it. Like I was one of those like troubled patients who would sit there and argue with you and shit like that. But you know what? When I look at it, I understand that there are people who literally can't function.
Yeah.
They can't. Like they need something like that to guide them in the right direction because they literally can't function without it. You know what I mean? Like, it might be easy for somebody like you or I to just waltz through a rehab or waltz through a college or waltz through a, political viewpoint or, you know what I mean? Like, it's easy for us to see where we're going and see what we want to see and understand what we want to understand, and we make our choices really quickly. There are a lot of people on the fringe out there who are just looking for a messiah. You know what I mean? They're just looking for somebody to show them where to go.
Yeah, there are people
You
out
know?
there that are
I mean,
looking
and they're
for-
on both sides. It's not just religious people. It's like scientific. Like there are a lot of people who will latch on to anything to give them direction.
We're getting to the end point. Does anybody have any other questions for Joseph? Go ahead.
Where can people find your shit?
That's
Alright,
an important question.
Plug
The
yourself.
easiest thing is to go to politicallyexhausted.com, and that'll bring you directly to my YouTube page. I have a redirect on my website, so if you go to politicallyexhausted.com, it'll bring you right to the YouTube page, and then you can see everything I post from there.
Okay, Joseph, one of the things that we usually do on this show is we do something at the end of the show called the final word.
Which may or may not have been ripped off from Jerry Springer, but that'll stay between you, me, and the internet.
But that
There's no midgets, though. It's not Jerry Springer.
We were talking about Warwick
There's a
Davis
strapper
beforehand.
pole, though.
And we do have some people's sisters who are going to come out here and start fights with each other.
So we do something called the final word, where this is your final message to the world. If you had a final message to the whole world, what would it be?
Things aren't as we're told. There's a lot going on in the world, and all these fantasy stories we like to drown ourselves in on TV. There's a real story, and it's right, you're living it. And there's a history to be written, and you can be a part of it. And if you're not, someone else will write it for you, and I bet a lot of people wouldn't enjoy that. So I really encourage people to just pay attention, look into things. They're not as how they seem, and there's a future out there that we might not like, but there is a future we will enjoy, and that's the future we write for ourselves. And the only way you can do that is by being involved.
That's a good final word. That's a damn fine final word. Right?
Quickie.
Quickie. Indeed.
Joseph Lemieux,
Very nice.
politically
Very nice,
exhausted,
sir.
man.
Very nice.
I ran out of beer. I can't cheers you guys.
Just pretend we wouldn't have
You
known.
hung in there like a trooper, though.
We wouldn't have known. You could have just told us it was another one.
You hung in there like a trooper.
Thank you very much.
Yes, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you for having me on the show.
No, absolutely, dude. Anytime, man. Anytime.
I hope you'll be on again in the future, dude.
Yeah, dude. It was fantastic.
Absolutely.
Thank you very much, man. You have a good night, sir.
And there he is.
You guys do. You enjoy yourselves very much.
Take care, man.
Thank you very much, Joe Lemieux.
Later
Justin Lemieux, or I'm sorry, Joseph Lemieux.
You said that earlier. You said Justin. I was like,
Yeah, no, somebody else said Justin.
J something Lemieux.
I'll let it go because you got my last name right. That's
All I
that's
did,
law
all
for
I
most
did was
people.
say just.
Hey, Lemieux is not easy to say. There's E's and U's and X's and all kinds of
Yeah,
shit.
you got
No,
like,
but I
you
know
got like
Lemieux.
8
I'm
silent
like
vowels
Mario,
in there.
you know.
Take care, man. Thank you very
All right,
much.
have a good one, guys.
Take
Take
care.
care, dude. Ah,
All right, man.
that
That
was
was
incredible.
awesome, right?
That was fun.
That was fun.
That was fun, man.
That's cool.
That was a great closing statement.
So
Yeah, that was a good closing statement.
we have arrived at the point in the evening of the final word.
Oh, are we there already?
We are there.
We are there,
What a
bro.
long journey
And-
it's been.
And what a long journey it's gonna be. There's like 80 of us.
I'm going to give
Yeah,
the
right.
first final word tonight,
All
which is
right.
your final message to the word, Scott Burton. Final message to the world,
Word.
Scott Burton.
Final message to the word.
And L changes that.
Your final words to
Your
the
final message to the word.
The first one goes to Ryan.
spit
No,
words
you,
out of your
no,
mouth.
you said you were taking the first
No,
one.
I said I was going to give the first one to somebody, and that's you.
So go.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
1, 2, 3, go.
I don't know.
Good final word. Moving along.
Thanks to Joseph Lemieux
Lemieux.
and Mr. Scott Burton, of course, and Dave Cohen. Absolutely
David motherfucking Cohen
in the house.
in the heezy.
Yeah, I don't know. You know, same old shit. Don't be a dick. You know, be nice to each other, and that's like, you know, what, like, I don't know. Well, you know, it's good to look. It's good to look and to see the truth. But the most important thing is that you mind your own life and take care of yourself. You know what I mean? Like, that's the most important thing. It's good to be involved. It's good to be informed. But if you're struggling and you know, and you're a piece of shit, you know, I mean, what does it really mean? You know what I mean? Like, the most important thing you can do is just be the example. You know what I mean? And just,
You got a young kid at home.
yeah, you know, yeah. Yeah, you be the example. You know, even when life gets that bad, you know, just look at the world like a child. You know what I mean? Look at the world like a child. You don't have to have kids to look at the world like a child, because that's what it is. It's looking for the right direction, and it needs more role models. You know, it needs more people willing to step into the fold and say what they believe is right. And that's why I credit our friend for coming on here tonight. And whether you agree or disagree with him, he said what he believes is right. And that's why I love hanging out with all you guys, because whether you agree or disagree with one another, you come on here, you go in front of the camera, and you say what you believe is right. And that is what people need to do.
And that's awesome talk.
And that, you know what I'm
I think
saying?
he's there, motherfucker.
Be yourself. Take care of your own life. Before you start telling other people what to do, take care of your own life, you know?
Next final word. I'm going to hand over to Mandrew.
Alright, my final word is very, very simple. Don't use your smartphone to take pictures of your junk.
That's a good one.
If you use
Always
your
take a
smartphone,
litter bag in your
And don't send it to the cloud, by God.
you don't even have to think that you're connected to the cloud. If you take pictures of your junk with your smartphone, it's gonna wind up somewhere that you don't want it to be.
No digital junk pictures.
And for all you know, it might wind up compromising your job. People making fun of you for being on Playgirl.
Well, Facebook's gonna look at it.
It's called film, people.
Is
It's
that
called
the end?
film.
Yeah, that's it.
It's called film, alright?
Like Ryan said, get a fucking disposable
Get a disposable camera.
Yeah, get a disposable camera, shove it down your pants, and click away.
Yes.
Like back in the day from the old Rite Aid.
It's called film.
Exactly.
You can destroy film.
That way you just have to weird out that one
You
poor
can't
dude
destroy
that's
the
working
cloud.
Next
on the
final
page.
word. Get guitar.
Ooh,
Gaggles.
ooh. Going across
My
the
final
bar.
word is well,
Yep.
Happy Election Day.
Oh, yeah,
Whatever the
yeah.
fuck that is.
I
Yeah.
totally voted for people to take pictures of my junk.
I like that. That's a good final word. Whatever.
Is that it?
Yeah.
That's all thing?
Take pictures of your
All right, get guitar. Thank you
All
very
right,
much.
Geggies. Clap for him, gentlemen. Clap.
Stop, you sons of bitches.
Next final word. I'm going to give to our newest official Awesome Talk member, Woo.
Mr. Woo.
Final word to the Woo.
Dude, it sounded like Gregorian chant for a minute.
Well, first of all, fucking Mongolian. All right.
You're on my shitty wall.
My shitty wall. Well, first of all, I am honored to be accepted amongst you awesome talkers.
Welcome to the club.
As you should
welcome,
be.
Welcome
Yes,
to the
yes.
club. And yes, it
And-
should be the best moment of your life.
It's all downhill from here.
And
I know you.
and to those lovely ladies who love to spray their vagina with some Pop Rocks, give me a call.
Yes.
Love me some Pop
Yes.
Rocks.
Yeah, because this man's got a deer tongue in his pants.
And he's not afraid of film. You understand?
Yes, I'm not afraid.
We'll take pictures.
Yeah, he's
Old
got
school
shit uploaded to the
pictures.
cloud
You know?
already. Just do
Yes.
Wu-Tongue.
Wu-Tongue.
/
The
deer.
Wu-Tongue Clan.
The Wu-Tongue.
God, why did I think that?
Nice.
The Wu-Tongue style.
Tongue clan.
Next final
The
word.
Deer Tongue Clan.
Is that the end of your final word?
Now that's a
The
final
Deer
word.
Tongue
It's
Clan.
dun,
I'm
dun,
in.
dun,
I'm
dun,
in.
dun, dun, dun.
Next final word I give to
I'm in.
Heavy Metal John.
HM
Hey.
Jack.
All right, what I want to talk about is not letting people make decisions for you. If you're curious about something, if you're drinking milk and it's making you sick, look into what's in it. You know, as far as GMOs and everything, if, you know, with the GMOs, if you're having any troubles with your food, if it's making you sick, buy different food, look into what people are putting into it, look into, you know, the laws about everything. You know, right now they're doing labeling for GMOs, and I think it's like Midwest somewhere. So, like, that's not here yet, but, you know, if they label it, then you know what's good and what isn't, what's genetically modified and stuff like that. I know we already talked about this.
No, it's
but
okay.
I just wanted to mention it because, you know, the food sucks now. Everything's the nutrition's taken out of it. So just that's all I want to say. Don't, you know, as far as what's going on in the world, you know, don't let people make decisions for it. Looking into it for yourself.
Eat right.
That's right. Listen to what
that's my final word.
Listen to what he says, not what everybody else says, because what they say is dumb.
Andrew, is there any more beer back there?
There is plenty
There
of
is
beer.
none
Yeah,
left
that's
for you.
Next final word. Sarah, final word.
Sarah.
I don't really have a final word. I feel like I've run out of final words.
You have to make one.
Like,
You have to make
I don't
one right
have
now.
it anymore, you know?
Impromptu.
They died
just
at
random
some
vowels.
point in my life.
We all have to do it. You got to do it too.
Just shove words together that don't make sense, and someone out there will relate to
My
you.
final word is hibbity bibbity blue blah.
Someone I love right now is listening to that and crying, being like, I know what you mean, Ryan.
Some dude from the Philippines is like, oh, right here.
Right here.
Oh, man. I know that feel.
I think that's it. That's my final word.
Oh, there you are.
Yeah.
I'm going to give the next final word to Mr. Dave Cohen.
I'd like to say thank you very much, awesome crew, for having me on today. It was a blast.
Excellent.
And thanks to Greg for the awesome chili.
Yes.
Yeah.
It was awesome. Too.
And the cornbread.
And the cornbread was fantastic.
Yeah, the cornbread.
And to add on to Ryan's statement before, the world is full of magic. Just keep your eyes open, and you'll see
Damn
it's
straight.
there. You'll see
Damn
it.
straight.
In
It
the
is
eyes
there.
of a child.
Sometimes if you take
Dave
LSD, it
also
helps.
works for Disney, but
I'm a princess. I know.
Not on the,
It's obvious.
yeah, he's
No,
not,
but no. If he worked for Disney, he would say the eyes of the world are magic through the eyes of a child, as long as they're not Jewish.
but isn't he?
Oh, isn't he?
There's
See?
a twist.
Oh,
There's a
There's a
twist.
twist. There's a twist.
See, there's a twist.
There's a
one of
twist
them-
in the
one of them
end.
M. Night
That's all ironic and
Shyamalan
stuff.
But he's Jewish.
You said the thing, Ryan. You said it.
I did.
One
What else?
So anyway,
Is that it?
That's it.
That's it. Well, there you go.
so a Jew, an Asian, and a cripple walk into a bar.
And
none of them are
Bing, bing, bing.
And a good time was had by all.
Alright, what's the punchline?
Oh!
And now they're at Awesome Talk.
Next final word. I'm going to give to Mr. Scott Burton.
Okay, well, it's a pleasure to be able to play with T.W.i.N.E, I gotta say.
Oh, yeah, it's a pleasure to have you.
Absolutely.
You're kicking ass, sir.
I've been studying a lot and listening on the way back and forth to the ferry in the morning. I just close my eyes, listen to it. I think I got all the songs down, so don't worry about me.
All right. I'm not worried about you.
I'm totally looking forward to it, and I really like the tunes. So as far as tonight goes, I was really resonating with Mr. Lemieux.
Yeah.
You know, what he said at the end, and I feel like this generation is legitimately threatened.
Yeah.
Kind of
Agreed.
like
Yes.
the 60s, you know, like
Yeah.
Native America was legitimately threatened.
Exactly.
You know, via like being drafted and stuff, but this is a modern era where the military-industrial complex that Eisenhower coined that term, that came true with Vietnam, is happening. It's happened. It's way progressed. You follow the money. That's why that's why the local cops have all these fancy toys, and they're like, "Yeah, let's put our flak jackets on and get our M16s and get in an armored personnel carrier and drive around and have fun." And you follow the money, it creates corruption. I think this generation has a legitimate gripe against the government.
Yeah.
You know, the powers that be.
I think the last
one's
ones did too. I mean, like even in the '80s, you know, like I mean, Red Scare and everything like that. Like they were still selling war with the communists. You know what I mean? Like they were.
There's always something.
There's always something. That like you said, the military-industrial complex. You know.
And to quote Dave Mustaine, "Peace sells, but who's buying?"
Yeah. Nobody's buying.
It's like a news show with all good news.
Nobody wants it. Yeah, nobody wants it. And that's the real problem, is that people don't want it. They don't want peace. That's the real problem.
I don't think people know that.
War is easier. War is easier.
There's no money in peace, and you're right.
Exactly. Well, war is easier. War is easier.
Well, let Scott finish.
So my closing thing is that I think shows like this are really cool. I had no idea what this was going to be like. When I had watched it, I was like,
welcome.
Anything, anytime, for no reason at all. I quote Frank Zappa.
Oh yeah.
But I think this little microcosms of things like this are what create awareness.
Yeah.
And more broke guys than like him, you know, and then you have a network, and then somebody else talks, and before you know it, you got maybe some momentum, you know, to change shit.
Thank you very much.
Well put indeed.
So,
is it time?
I'm gonna go next.
Oh.
Yay. Sorry, not to disappoint you.
Sorry, John. One more.
One more. Check out awesometalktv.com, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Awesome Talk TV. Check us out on Facebook, Homebar Productions. Sarah and I have a podcast on Droid and iTunes and a bunch of other places called Ice and the Face, which you can find almost everybody here has appeared on that. You know, I want to say thank you to Joseph Lemieux from Politically Exhausted for being on tonight. I want to say thank you to Heavy Metal John, Scott Burton, Dave for being here. I want to say welcome to the family.
Save the best for last. He was getting impatient.
Welcome to
the
Woo.
Universe.
Welcome to Woo.
And my final word, you know, November 15th, we're doing the show at the Saint, and it's a fundraiser to help teach doctors learn so that they can properly treat Lyme disease. Now, one of the things that people are celebrating in New York is the governor signing a new bill that protects doctors from being penalized for treating Lyme disease, which is a big problem on a federal level. But while that is happening, I think people need to understand that the FDA is also enforcing legislation that says that basically your ability to get tested yourself is now being taken away. Sarah had 4 false negatives, before she took matters into her own hands and sent her own blood out to IGeneX herself and got.
No, not the first time it was an IGeneX.
What was the first time?
First time was a lab that doesn't exist anymore. They didn't have enough money. Like, the problem is that, like, you need to have a test result from an FDA approved lab in order for an insurance company to pay a bill. So some labs have tons of research and researchers and scientists and tons of data to back them up, but they don't have the millions it takes to have the FDA approval. So their work means nothing if you're trying to be need to be a patient who's has insurance coverage paying for their problems.
Right.
And so yeah, that company doesn't exist anymore.
Sure.
The company that gave me my first.
And now there's something coming out where they're taking over IGeneX and they're taking that away from people. So your ability to get yourself tested, even though the CDC just came out recently and said it might even be as high as 1 million new cases a year.
And actually, the scary thing about those tests is that not FDA approved test that I got was something like a 90-something% accuracy.
Yes.
And the tests that the government wants you to get are about 50% accurate. So there's a huge problem there.
Yeah, sure. And you know, follow the money, right? Everything else comes down to the fucking money. So, you know, on November 15th, we're doing a show. We're raising money to try to help this cause, you know.
To help
Small
doctors
show.
learn good.
Yeah, exactly.
They're going to speak better than we
School for kids who learn how to read good.
And
we're gonna have a school for doctors who know how to learn good.
And you know, it's the least that we could try to do. So if you need tickets for that, please go to austintalkshop.weebly.com, and that's what we're trying to raise money for. We got a lot of performers that night. It's gonna be a really, really good night.
Cheers indeed.
And thank you everybody for tonight. And I'm gonna pass the special final word over, as usual, to Mr. John Lackey of Super Team H2.
No pressure.
No pressure. After all that.
And by that,
He's already got it written down.
Yeah.
It's like me, I'm stuttering.
No, come on, freestyle.
Next time I'll
He
either
freestyled once, and now it's a train wreck.
We're never doing that again.
I have
All right.
Never again.
Okay.
Here we go.
Okay, so tonight, something a little different. I'm going to read an excerpt from the book that I'm writing.
Ooh.
Yep. It's a special.
Intriguing.
It's a self-help book. It's called Telekinesis for Beginners, an introductory guide to the ancient art of picking stuff up with your brain. Here we go. So how many times has this happened to you? A prowler is snooping about in your begonias. You can see him out there because it's broad daylight and he's wearing a comically conspicuous black and white striped prowler outfit. You're excited because now would be the perfect time to test out that new pistol that you got for Christmas a few years ago.
The Red Ryder BB gun?
Almost as good. That was the best work-mandated Secret Santa party ever because you got a brand new Glock and all you brought was a $20 gift certificate to the video store that burned down 10 years ago. But it's all the way over there in the closet in a safe, and the bullets are hidden in the hollowed-out Bible you keep on your hope chest. And that prowler is looking real mad and real ethnic.
Oh, racial jokes are fun.
This looks like a job for telekinesis. With just the power of your brainwaves, you can unlock the safe, flip open the Bible, load the gun, and end the prowler's life before he can say trick or treat for UNICEF. This book will teach you the basics of telekinesis through brain exercises, timed exams, poems, and prayer. But hold on there, Carrie. This isn't prom night. John Travolta didn't just dump a bucket of pig's blood on you just yet. You have to learn the basics first. It's like the old famous telekinesis men saying, you have to learn how to throw a grape in the air and catch it in your mouth before you can level a city block with your thoughts. Also, that reminds me, you should only use your newfound powers for good, so please only level city blocks that are riddled with crime. So let's get started. Chapter 1, just picking stuff up with your hands. What if I told you that by physically picking up this book, you're already on your way to becoming a master brain mover? You're performing fingerkinesis, the ancient art of picking stuff up with your hands.
Fingerkinesis.
That's probably a thing, right?
Hashtag fingerkinesis.
That's probably a thing, right? I mean, it's right here in this book you're reading. Practice fingerkinesis every day for at least 6 hours. Pick things up around your house or at a friend's house and put them back down, or put your friends down. You're doing it. You're really doing it. All right, now it's time for the quiz zone. Question 1. Fingerkinesis is the ancient art of picking things up with your A, brain, B, hands, or C, complicated pulley system.
Complicated pulley system.
Pulley system.
Wrong.
Pulley
Wrong.
system. Final
Wrong.
answer. No, you're wrong.
If you answered B, you're correct, and you're ready to unlock your full telekinetic potential.
God damn it!
Yeah, you see, full telekinetic potential.
Yeah,
That's right. Imagine the thrill of walking through the grocery store, tossing cans into your cart without exerting yourself. Or standing at the bus stop, tossing cans at a bus without exerting yourself. And then I just kind of trail off on the whole tossing cans with your brain thing for like 30 more pages. Not really sure what happened there. So I hope you'll check out Telekinesis for Beginners wherever fine books are sold, like on your computer or at a dead nerd's estate sale. Thank you.
Super Team H2.com. Everybody, we'll see you November 15th live at the Saint. Be Awesome Talk Season 3, the season finale. Get tickets right now.
Make sure your fingerkinesis skills are at hand.
Exactly. Thank you very much for drinking with us.
Yes.
Ryan?
Good night forever, my sweet friend. Can I get a we ain't going out like that? We ain't going out like that, 'cause that's awesome talk.
Check out the trailer for the live show.
Yeah, put on the trailer.
You have a boo-boo?
Yeah, she
Yeah, where's your boo-boo? You fell?
Mind your fucking attitude. Mind your fucking attitude. Mind your fucking shit.
And I'm news for you, it's already here.